Hello and welcome to another episode of our Kinky Kindles, the podcast where we worry about the right holes.
And y'all, today is an excellent example of where we are going to worry about the right holes.
There are many holes.
There are many holes of both varieties in this work of art, this work of fictional goodness. There are many body part holes. Mm-hmm. There are also a few plot holes. And
do we care about the plot holes?
Exactly.
I don't think we're coming to this book for the plot.
We're coming for different reasons. You walked right into that.
That's right. This week we're reviewing Faking with Benefits by Lily Gold. She is a wonderful reverse harem author. I think all of the books she's written are all RHs. This is the only one I've read by her. But I have heard that 3 Swedish Mountain Men is pretty good.
Ooh.
I haven't read it, but...
That feels vaguely hockey related.
It does feel hockey related.
It feels V Golden Retriever related.
That do sound blonde and big.
My ideal man.
Yeah, so if y'all have read Faking with Benefits, you're in for a treat today. This is probably one of the most descriptive smut books I have ever read.
This is, dare we say, educational.
Extremely educational.
This is research oriented. This, if you are curious as to how these things would work, Lily Gold.
It's like a how-to manual of
truly
how you can interact with 3 men at one time.
There are a lot of holes.
A lot of options.
There are a lot of options, and they cover a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
It's inspirational, truly. Kay, would you like to give a brief commentary on our outfit choices today? This is an audio podcast, but...
Y'all, so we live in this sweet southern town, and it also happens to be a college town.
Yeah.
And for some reason, on the website where the college town sells their merchandise, they were selling these precious, beautiful, soft pink baby pink baseball caps, and written across the top in stitching says "Daddy."
Just Daddy. And this is like Arial. This is like a Times New Roman type font. This is Daddy. Like leaving it up to interpretation. It's not written in something humorous. No. Just black Daddy.
Just says Daddy.
Did we wear these to brunch together?
Oh, we sure did.
Hell yes.
Yes, when I saw these hats on the website, I said, we have to own these immediately.
Yes.
So I bought 3. One for me, one for A, one for our friend H.
We were like, oh, we have to have these. And Kay was like, don't worry, I bought 3.
Don't worry, I already bought 3.
We are in our don't worry, I bought 3 era.
Yes.
This is partially because of a beach trip coming up. This is also just... Is this Gemini season
Maybe
era?
that's what it is.
I don't know.
I was like, why do I need a hat that it's baby pink hat that
Daddy.
says Daddy on it?
And we were with our partners at our Sunday brunch. Hilarious.
A's partner was extremely confused. He was like, what's going on?
It's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah. So if you're at home, just picture 2 girlies fully reclined, wearing their pink hats that say Daddy with their Kindles.
With our kinky Kindles.
And drinking hard Italian soda.
Yeah, we do have Cayman Jacks. Not a sponsor. They're in the fridge. But this is a Trader Joe's special Bravazzi.
Sure.
It's Italian. Yes. It's hard Italian soda.
Yeah.
Why not? Delicious.
Yeah. Well, y'all, A had a hard week.
Y'all, I don't even know. I have not been that sick in adulthood. I think not since, my partner was like, I've seen you that sick. Oh, I don't think so. Mm-mm. It was a stomach bug situation. I do think that it was maybe a sign that I should maybe manage my stress a little bit better, maybe read a little more smut, because I think maybe my immune system was down because nobody else has gotten the stomach bug.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks. If you're not reading enough smut, you will get the stomach bug.
That is the direct correlation we want for y'all to pick up. If you are not indulging in enough self-care in the form of smut, you will vomit.
Yes. Just physically.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to quote Taylor Swift.
Oh. I pictured you with other girls in love, then threw up on the street. You're welcome. That was for
free. Brilliant. Then threw up on the street. I did not throw up on the street, but I did pass out. It was gnarly. I'm gonna have a cute little scar on my shoulder. But
you bleed?
I didn't. I had on my fuzzy bathrobe, and so it cushioned my fall, but like I blacked out. It was bad. I was at, and I just, so y'all, the blood sugar girlies among us who need to eat in order to feel human, I'm one of those. I eat a whole lot. I am a firm believer in nourish your bodies. It's very important. And I hadn't been listening to my bodily cues and eating enough. And so my body was like, we're in distress and we're going to get a stomach bug. And then I went and sat in the sun at a high school graduation for one of my angel clients. And it was really special and meaningful and long and hot. And I think that contributed. But yeah, I forget where I was going with that other than take care of yourselves, y'all.
Yes. I feel like I have been the one that's been sick on the podcast. Like
you have,
at least twice. So it's not just me.
Yeah, I hope this is validating.
It's not just me not taking care of myself and getting sick all the time. So
yeah. And maybe other people's bodies act differently when they're under stress. I don't know. Mine is just like, our immune system stops working. We're going to get everything. So it's a little message.
It's hard. Yeah, we have our high school graduation is on Wednesday this week, and I'm not looking forward to having to sit in there.
It'll be outside too, in a football field.
In our football stadium.
This was my fun fact for the podcast listeners. This was my first public high school graduation I've ever attended.
Yeah, I went to a very special high school, and by special I mean at her house.
Yes. Problems ensued, but I was registered with a small Christian school, and so mine was, like 15 kids graduating. So
or as you like to call them, sparkly white Christian nationalists.
Yeah, sparkling white Christian nationalists. Is that what it is? White Christian nationalists?
I don't know
white
what
nationalist
you said.
Christians. Yeah, no, there's like I use this term a lot. It's that's who they were.
Yeah, that's rough.
So I think it was really beautiful to go off on public education, as we always do, to the pros and the cons. But it was really beautiful to see the diversity. And at this high school, this is not the high school graduation I attended was not yours, obviously. The one that you work at.
Same county, but...
Yeah. And probably similar demographics. But it was cool to see all the different folks there. I was like, this is beautiful. Because we, sometimes I get the the wrong impression that our town is just a whole bunch of Southern white folks, and in reality
it's really not.
We have people from all over, and they all graduate high school and give speeches.
One of the instructors at the fitness place I go to, her son is the running back for that school's football team.
I bet that was one. So I could tell they were football players because I think they went to nationals or something.
Yeah, so they actually won.
Yes, okay. They were talking about
state.
that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
State. Well, that's a big deal. They were cheering and it was really beautiful. And I think it was that football players, when they would walk across the stage, everybody lost their minds. Yeah. It was really cute.
Yeah, it's
These
really
babies.
sweet.
Hometown heroes.
I know. And we actually aren't even a big high school football, just because we are a college town, so our
Trust me.
very big SEC school overshadows a lot of the high school athletics here.
Yes.
But it is like when you're in the community of like high school, it's really sweet. They all get so excited.
It was really powerful to just kind of, I don't know, and part of that's because I was homeschooled, but it was just really sweet to see my community out there all together supporting their kids. And then, I went home and vomited my brains out, but it was just really special. I'm glad I went.
Then threw up on the street.
And then threw up on the street. Yeah, and then the next morning, or the next day, Taylor Swift released.
Yeah, at midnight that night.
It was at midnight.
Yeah.
That was really sweet.
Yeah. It's been a wild week for Taylor Swift, you all.
Truly. Yeah, give us the state of our nation.
The state of our nation.
State of our Taylor nation.
Yeah, so if you all are deep into the Swift talk like I am, you already know the song You're Losing Me, and it's probably the saddest breakup song she's ever written, and it makes me think that Joe Allen is public enemy number one now.
Ooh, that is saying something in terms of her exes. We hate many of them. But yeah, he's public enemy number one.
I am now resorting. Harry Styles is forever going to be my dad.
My father. My daddy.
My daddy. These hats are amazing. We're all just floating out here, not sure what's going on.
Yeah, hanging on her every word.
Yeah, would do anything for her.
Truly. Well, yes, we landed on Faking with Benefits as our book read for this weekend because it's something we had both read and it would be a fun one to review for this weekend. We have hinted at reviewing this many times. Reverse harem romances come up a lot in conversation for us.
Always.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're not talking about reverse harem romances, what are you talking about?
I don't. Do other people talk about?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Mental health. Yeah, our subjects are...
It's wild.
Yeah.
And y'all, we have more friends on TikTok now.
Yes,
every time I post a video, more of y'all follow us on TikTok, which is amazing. I'm so excited to have you all following.
Oh, my heart.
And It Happened One Summer continues to climb in listens.
As it should.
So I don't know if it's probably the book that's drawing people to it. I want to think that it's our hilarious and insightful commentary, but it probably is the most popular book on TikTok.
It is probably because other folks are really jazzed. We listen to our listeners. We listen to these statistics and we're like, hey, this is good to know that y'all are into this. Right now, our choice for what we review on the podcast is based purely on what we feel like reviewing.
Yeah, what feels right. And like for this week, when A was sick, I was like, what would be the easiest book for me to read in the next 48 hours?
Yeah. And you're like, Faking with Benefits.
Yeah,
let's do it.
I can bust through that book.
Exactly. Yeah, this is how many pages?
It's actually kind of long. It's like almost 500 pages.
It's got to be because there's a lot going on.
But I will say that, because I've already read it once, I skimmed through the more plot elements and focused a little bit more on the characters, if you will.
It's funny how I have little to no trouble remembering the spicy scenes of any book. I remember those just fine.
The plot? It's gone.
The plot evaporates
immediately
from my memory. Generally, it truly does. But yeah, the spicy scenes, I'm like, nope, yep, I remember that just fine.
I know. I always feel like Dory from Finding Nemo. As soon as I close the book, I'm like, I have short-term memory loss. I can't remember anything from that book besides the right holes.
The right holes I remember with vivid clarity.
Oh, it's there.
The holes of the story, yeah. Unless you are this is our only reverse harem that we've both read, right?
Mm-hmm. This is the only one I've actually read.
Yeah.
So
yeah, maybe this is typical for reverse harem.
Maybe. I wonder if they're all long like this.
I guess they how else?
We need to do more research on.
Think about character development.
Yeah, because you've got 4 whole characters you have to develop into people that you believe are real.
Yeah, and you have to buy in, and then we're jumping a little bit ahead, but for Lila to have relationships with each of them, the author is
unique
having
relationships with each of them.
Yes, unique, multidimensional relationships with each. Like that takes some work. Mm-hmm. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed too. Yeah, actually, this is the first and only reverse harem romance I have read. And not that I liked it. I would read more, but like the true confession that I hadn't read in RH was because, one, I was raised in purity culture, and so like
this felt especially off limits.
Yeah, engaging in smut in general is like still kind of feels a little like I'm doing something wrong.
The conditioning runs deep.
Yeah. And then also I was in my brain like actually concerned that if I read a reverse harem, that other smut would not interest me anymore because this would be so like over the top. And it's not like that.
But that's a purity culture belief too, of like slippery slope.
Yeah, or like when you put something in your brain, you can't
you're gonna want harder and harder drugs.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, which, obviously I've read other books and loved them since this one. So clearly that's not the issue. And so I do want to read more RH. And I think Lily Gold she's a great writer. And I love that she's British.
Yes.
So there's a lot of like British slang, and the way that they talk is really cute. I'm not going to do a British accent for this. Maybe if it feels right, but I do imagine that Zach talks a lot like Jamie from Ted Lasso.
Oh, he's got to. Yes, there's a real Jamie Taut energy. Yeah.
Keela.
That's more of like a Cockney.
Yeah.
Is that when I think of British or English accents, there are so many.
Oh, I know. There's so many different variations.
Are you caught up on Ted Lasso? Or are you waiting till the summer?
No, I'm really bad.
Well,
I'm a bad person.
You're a terrible person, truly. But even just watching Ted Lasso, there's so many different
kinds of accents.
Yes. And so I feel like each of these have different little accents.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking around the book. Shall we give a brief synopsis or like set the stage?
Yeah, we'll set the stage. So Faking with Benefits is a friends to lovers, fake dating, reverse harem romance. Our main character is Layla. She is an entrepreneur. She has her own lingerie company that she started from scratch. And she lives next door to 3 extremely hot men.
Truly. And what do they do for a living, Kay?
They have a podcast.
Interesting.
And weirdly enough, I do talk a lot about that in my notes.
That's interesting how you're drawn to that interesting little tidbit there.
Yeah. So
there's also a rags to riches trope a little bit because she grew up with some
very little money and
reduced resources, and now she's made kind of this rags to riches.
Yeah.
Independent woman.
So our 3 men are Zach Harding. He is a former rugby player. He is our... Well, I describe them all as I go through, so I won't give you too many details. Josh is our resident sad boy, and Luke is our older man. So not only do you have friends to lovers, you also have age gap, you have fake dating. There is like a... grumpy sunshine. There's every trope that you could possibly imagine in this book. It's here.
This is a trope-packed book. And it does... We'll get to the 3rd act. Triple breakup.
Yeah.
But it does make me wonder, like, at what point is a book just tropes? I don't know. And am I mad about that?
I wasn't mad. I mean, tropes work. They're tropes for a reason.
And... all these highbrow, it's the same. Yes, exactly.
That's why we like it.
There's comfort in the predictability of it all.
And I know what I like.
Yeah.
If it says enemies to lovers, I'm like, oh, I know I'm going to like that.
I am pro trope.
Yeah.
I'm not only trope, though. But, yeah, I'm...
Okay, y'all. Let's jump in. So, full disclosure, this is going to be... me doing my notes and then A kind of chiming in because Sweet Baby was sick, and I don't make my friends do stuff when they're sick.
Which was very kind and very thoughtful, and I appreciate that. I do. It is familiar.
Yeah, she's read it,
and maybe some folks kind of enjoy hearing like reactions on the internet are like a whole genre unto themselves. And so some of this will be, I can't possibly remember all of it. And so some of it will be it'll
be like a fun surprise.
Yeah.
So you're going to get some live reactions, which is really fun.
Fun for all.
All right. In chapter 2, page 13, we're introducing our characters here. Zach Harding, player nickname Zach Hardon, is a 30-year-old ex-rugby player, but he looks more like a Viking. Massive arms, blonde hair, usually pulled back in a man bun, scruffy beard, and a barrel chest the size of a fridge. And
Yeah.
okay, so here's what's fun about this book. There are multiple men to choose from, and here we are meeting Zach. He's our resident Lego man, designed especially for A.
He is really, really right up my alley.
Yeah, and he's golden retriever as fuck.
He truly is, and his confidence, and he's so affectionate and lovely. God,
Yeah.
I'm in love with him.
I know, as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, hell yeah. I was like, we're not going to have to argue about whether or not the man is blonde. I'm like, here, you can have the blonde man.
There's someone for everyone, including his repression of grief and inability to.
It's almost like he doesn't like to feel pain, like someone else that we know.
It's as if he's also an Enneagram 7.
Yeah. Okay. Later on down this page, or no, page 15. I don't know. It's arbitrary.
Yeah.
Y'all know. It's made up.
The numbers are made up and the points don't matter.
Yep. Her treat, my lingerie company, is the most important thing in my life. It's taken 6 years of constant work to build it from where it is now. A moderately successful web boutique with thousands of customers a month, 6 years of all-nighters and paying off debts and working 18-hour days. It's my baby and it comes before everything else. This is a bad bitch.
Seriously.
She did this on her own. Like, she is the designer. She's the owner of the company. She's
the model.
She's the model. She does the marketing. She does the buying, the purchasing.
That is an around-the-clock job.
She's working so hard.
Yeah.
And I love that. She's very empowered.
Yeah. But, you know, as life goes, when you don't have balance. But she is really career heavy, and different seasons of life have different, focuses. But she doesn't really know how to date or have fun.
Yeah, so that's the premise of this book, is that she has been on 120 first dates.
Yeah.
And they don't end well because she has a checklist of things that she wants, and so it's like she interviews them on the date, and it's it's not sexy.
It's a little bit of a turn off.
And so that kind of ensues we'll teach you how to date, the three of us together.
Simultaneously. Yeah.
Later on down this page, I don't think having a relationship advice podcast makes you a love expert. I don't see a degree on your wall. This is Layla telling this to her.
Oh, they're roommate. They're hallmates.
Yeah.
They live close by.
Yeah. So she's talking to Zach. And I just right here, look, we do not, I repeat, do not claim to be an advice podcast. We are not an advice podcast.
Oh, yeah. That needs to be a disclaimer, like before, middle, after, throughout the podcast. We are not an advice podcast.
This is not an advice podcast. But I will say, in our defense, we do have multiple degrees that say we can charge for our advice.
That is an excellent point. So unlike the boys,
the three single boys or whatever their podcast is.
Yeah.
Three single guys.
Unlike the Three Single Guys podcast, these two married
married girlies.
girlies. On this podcast, whenever we are talking about relationships, we like can bill for those services.
Yeah, we do have degrees that say we could charge you money for that advice.
I mean, and do with that what you will. That does also feel like a liability for me to be talking about mental health without. But anyway, yes.
But for legal purposes,
thank you.
Don't take our advice.
But also, I mean, we might.
If you like what you hear, there's nothing stopping you from
check in with your gut.
Yeah,
check in with your gut on anything anyone says.
Yeah.
Check in with yourself. Say, does that resonate?
Does that feel right?
Yeah, and then take from that what you will.
Yeah. And if we ever get sponsors, maybe that's how we can charge y'all for
yes,
for this advice.
That's how we'll. Yeah, we at brunch today we were extrapolating out how we would do.
Yeah, we were doing a little concern about
taxes.
Yeah, about having to do taxes and creating an LLC, but As of right now, that's not an issue.
But with y'all's support, we could definitely get there.
Yeah.
Y'all could definitely create more work for us, and we would gladly do it.
Oh, if we got sponsors, I would do so much more work.
No. When we get sponsors.
Oh, when we get right. We're manifesting. I mean, we gain followers every week.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's because of our hilarious content.
Or something. Or something.
We are who we are.
Oh, speaking of, later on down this page, thousands of listeners tune in every week to hear the voice talk about everything from STIs to breath play. Period. And I just wrote, isn't that the dream?
Isn't that the dream? Also, some folks come because they, we listen to podcasts for lots of reasons. Mm-hmm. The listeners for Three Single Guys are listening for everything from STIs to breath play.
Yeah. And that's kind of why you guys are here, right? Y'all. Sorry. I'm going to fix that one day.
You do a beautiful job. I don't think anyone necessarily judges that.
No one's gonna be mean to me.
It would be mean.
Cancel me on the podcast, on my own podcast.
We're human.
Okay, page 21. Let's meet Mr. Luke here.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, Luke is turning 40 this year, and he's the quintessential silver fox, graying and handsome in a hot professor kind of way. He's dressed in his usual chinos, thick-rimmed glasses, and a soft-looking navy sweater. I want to lick him.
I want to lick him.
You look fit, I draw. All right, here's another choice for you ladies and babies. Oh, I wrote babies. Isn't that cute?
Oh, that is darling.
He's an older man. He's established. He's accomplished. And then I wrote here also, this author is British, which is why there's English slang. You look fit.
We love it.
If you don't know what fit means, I'm pretty sure it means hot. If we don't have any English listeners.
We would know because we can see the stats.
Yeah, you're all in America. But if we ever do, please don't make fun of me for using your British slang. I'm so sorry.
We're cool, we promise.
I would never intentionally use it. All right, later on down this page, Luke is my old year 10 English teacher. When I was 16, I went to his class 3 times a week to learn Shakespeare and read Of Mice and Men. Just like all the other girls in school, I had a massive crush on him. Another trope alert, hot for teacher.
Yes, hot for teacher.
Yes.
Kay, were you ever hot for one of your teachers?
No. None of my teachers were very hot. I did have, in 6th grade, my math teacher was a younger man, and I think people thought that he was hot because he was like a man in his 20s, but when I think about the way he looked, he was not that hot.
He was just a man in his 20s.
Yeah, just a man who was a teacher.
Yeah. The bar was on the floor.
Is he hot or does he care about children?
Yeah. Is he hot or is he employed?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. It's hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I obviously no.
That's going to be a no.
That's going to be a no.
It's going to be a crime for you.
School girlies. Yeah, but I did, several church church leaders. I was like, ooh. Ooh, cute.
All right, we're going to meet our last boy here. The last occupant of apartment 6B, Joshua Tran, is standing in the doorway of his bedroom looking at me through narrowed eyes. I glare right back at him, even though tilting my head to look at him makes my neck hurt. The guy is tall, about 6'5". He's taller than Zach, with thick black hair, sharp bone structure, and cool, distant eyes. He's the quieter one of the group, unlike Zach. He doesn't burst into rooms and loudly announce his presence. He sneaks in like a black panther and glares around at everyone with judgy eyes.
This is not my vibe.
And here he is, our third and final man, designed with me in mind. He's dark, he's moody, he's sad. I love Josh. I love him so much.
It's just, it never ceases to entertain me how the very person I am like, no, this is like the lead. You're like, look, in real time, y'all, if this is a video, Kay is like looking to me to react to how hot he is. Like, are you hearing this? Oh my God. And it's like, with every word, it's less and less appealing to me. And that just goes to show that each of our sexual proclivities in life, they deserve to be as they are.
That's right. You can like what you like.
Like what you like, y'all.
And it's
who
interesting.
you like, how you like.
That, it's almost as if my real partner has black, dark hair and sharp bone structure. And
he does, and some light eyes. True. And he does not burst into a room and announce his presence.
Oh, he sure doesn't.
No.
He's quiet. He's not sad, though. He's
No,
actually,
he's
like, adjusted and normal and fine.
It's really painful, honestly.
Oh, it's annoying.
My favorite thing to do is to, like, corner him at a meal and be like, hey, so this is my problem. Because I know he's going to give me, like, the most logical possible perspective.
Yeah.
And with some emotions factored in. He's not, like, anti-emotional, but he's just, like, very level-headed.
Yeah. He's like, so what do you want to do?
Fuck that.
Stop asking.
It's really annoying. But, like, what do you want? And I'm like, well, stop.
Stop asking me that. I don't know.
Like, that is why I'm asking you. No, it's different people have different strengths. Mm-hmm. And Josh's strength
is being really hot.
I don't know about that. Josh, we will find out, is in love.
That's right. And that's another one of the things another trope that I like, the, like, it's always been you trope.
That'll do it.
So good. All right, page 27. Layla is kind of recapping after her date with a guy. And he kind of, it's not going well. And he basically escapes out the bathroom window before the date is over, which is painful. And weirdly enough, Zach was just like there. And he was like, oh, babe, I'll take you on a date.
Availability.
Yeah. And so she's saying to Zach, I just wanted him to like me. Aww. I want a guy to have dinner with me and like me enough to want to see me again. I want an actual relationship.
Oh, she's ready to have an actual relationship.
Yeah. And I just wrote, it's too real. Where are my Enneagram 2s at? I just wanted him to like me.
I just wanted him to like me. That would be brutal. I think rejection of any kind is painful, but like rejection just like running out the window.
I know. That's awful. What kind of asshole would do that?
Yeah. Y'all, if that's happened to you or something to that effect, please tell us so that we can roast him and live react to how angry that makes us.
That's right. And tell us where he lives so we can put a fish in his mailbox. You'll see it on TikTok this week, baby.
Yep. Every now and then we'll say something. I'm like, there we go. That's our clip for the titty talk.
The titty talk. All right, page 38. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 442 of Three Single Guys, a podcast where three single men give you dating advice. I'm Joshua. I just turned 30, and I haven't had a steady relationship in years. Luke chimes in. I'm Luke, ex-high school teacher and the team's resident divorcee. And I'm Zach, rugby legend, calendar boy, and the best shagger in Europe.
The best shagger.
And then Josh responds, no one has ever called you that. They do. I get around. Josh sighs.
Giving Jamie Tart.
We are the Three Single Guys, and we're completely unqualified to give you relationship advice. As always, please remember that this show is for entertainment purposes only. Do not take our advice. And then Zach responds, and when you do, send us a wedding invite.
Oh, don't they have a wall of wedding invites?
Or Josh does, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so that's kind of, this is podcast inception here.
Truly.
Don't take our advice, but if you do, send us a wedding invite. We'll come.
We will be there, oh my God, with bells on.
That's right. You won't recognize us because you can't see our faces, but we'll be the weirdos that are there. The two strangers in the daddy hats.
Drunk at your wedding. We'll be festive.
Wedding A and K are two very special people.
A gift to all. We
will be on your dance floor the entire night.
I think it's because we were child brides, and so adult weddings we're into. We're here to have a good time.
Page 38. I think it's later on down that same page. They are reading in emails from their listeners, and they all, like, obviously listeners ask for advice, and I just thought this was I thought it was really good advice, actually.
Truly.
Okay. Josh clears his throat. The last few times me and my girlfriend have slept together, she squirted. I think it's great, but she's horrifically embarrassed every time it happens, and it's really affecting our life in the bedroom. How do I convince her that it's normal and I actually really like it? Zach responds, drink that shit up. You got to get in there and swallow, man. You can't just tell her that you think it's hot. You got to show her.
You got to show her.
So you get between her legs. You go down like you're at a damn watermelon eating contest. Trust me, she's going to know you think it's hot when you're licking her clean like she's a melted ice cream cone.
Yeah. God. Mixed metaphors for me, Zach.
Very on brand for your type.
No cohesion.
Just
word salad.
like,
Mixed
I
food
understand that.
Look, I have a type. It's the opposite of me. I would never mix a metaphor.
I wrote 2 things, : number 1, holy shit.
God, that's enthusiastic.
I'm not complaining. Number 2, watermelon, sugar. Hi.
I mean, direct reference, right? Harry's British.
Yes, he's English, and watermelon sugar is about going down on a woman.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched that music video, why don't you go in your room by yourself?
Yes.
And don't watch that around anyone that you ever love or care about.
Privacy. Looks up good like a devil.
It's dirty.
Yeah.
And he's fully clothed, and he's just touching a watermelon. It's something else.
He is who I wear this hat for.
He's the only person I would legitimately call daddy and mean it.
Dear God, what is it about him?
I think it's the security.
I think it's the confidence.
I think it's the sparkly
BDE.
outfits. It is.
I think
huge, massive dick energy. MDE.
Truly, MD. Major depressive episode is all I hear there. I'm sorry.
Major depressive.
Deep in the DSM all the time. I'm sorry, y'all. No, not a major depressive episode. Yeah. Brief Harry Styles sidebar. A sparkly jumpsuit. It just confidence.
Yes.
Confidence can play such a factor in so many things. If you're just confident about who you are, your hotness, it goes up a million.
Yes. And like Harry is what we mean by the female gaze.
Dear God.
I don't give a shit about your big giant ass muscles.
No.
If you're dancing around in a sparkly jumpsuit and
Those
you're
hips.
Secure about it, that's hot.
It's humorous.
Yeah.
I'm drawn to him like a moth to flame.
I know. I'm like, every time I see a video of him, I'm like, oh my God.
I know. I saw it was a TikTok sidebar. I download TikTok. You know this. I download it and then am on it for hours. I have a challenge regulating my attention. But
I don't understand how your algorithm is even
I know.
catered to you.
It still remembers it each time. It's very entertaining. But anyway, it was him. It was like Harry at his mom's wedding, and he's dressed like a good boy, and it's his mama's wedding, and it's all good. And then it was him dressed at Liam's mom's wedding, and it was giving. I've slept with your mom. I don't know. It was.
I have not seen this.
I should have saved it. It was shirt all the way unbuttoned, like the hat, suit jacket with the shirt all the way unbuttoned, like a scarf situation open. It just, oh my God. I don't know. I don't really have words for how I feel about Harry Styles. Is he even our age?
He is, he's my age. He's younger than Taylor Swift. I looked this up because.
He's a baby.
Yeah.
But he's a baby for the amount of confidence he has. Mm-hmm. He's gonna age really well. Yeah,
he was. He's international right now for his tour, and he was wearing this outfit last night. It was pink fringe, sparkly pants with a matching vest, but there was no shirt underneath the vest. And he was playing with the vest, and then he put his hands under his pecs and said, "My hitties are out."
Oh, my hitties! They're his titties. His hitties.
The hairy titties.
The hairy. Oh my God.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, that's cute. Yours would be your kitties.
That's.
They would be.
Yeah. Very important.
Thank you, Harry Styles.
Very important sidebar.
Thank you, Harry.
And this is why y'all come to this podcast. You don't care about the book at all.
Let us talk about our tits. We're back.
Okay, page 44, chapter 6. I just highlighted, Josh has been head over heels for Layla ever since they met, but he won't admit it. And I just wrote, not to brag, but my guy's winning. He already loves her.
Look, that is just sad boy to the core.
Like I said.
So, yes, he loves her. That is nice. That's nice. Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah, but Zach, on page whatever the fuck, in chapter 5, he says, we're worried about you. Don't like to see you cry. Frowny face. So he actually talks about how he feels to Layla.
He's talking about how she feels. That's not about how he feels.
He says, we're worried about you. Him, I don't like to see you cry. I care about you. I will express this in English words. With an emoji.
Okay, fine. Zach can have 1 point.
Okay. He's going to have so many more points. I think his dick is a lot bigger.
What? They don't compare. How would you even know? I think in your brain it is.
Yeah, he's a bigger dude.
Like, that's true. He puts it in her butt.
I
know. We'll talk about that later.
There's only so many holes, ladies and babies.
Page 45. This is a tweet that was sent to the 3 single guys. There's a rival podcast that's like, they're prudes. I don't know what the podcast is. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically
stupid.
Yeah, it's like a married couple who
who would do that?
A married person with a podcast? No, but they're like gross and they love the Lord and stuff.
Well, hey, sidebar, you can love the Lord and not be a dick.
That's actually so true.
Yeah, so maybe I should try it.
Same thing, like you can have like mental illness and not be a dick. It's really easy.
Yeah, it actually is.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I don't harm others with my beliefs and problems. So
yeah, it's really easy to do.
Yeah, that's a freebie.
Don't take our advice. Or if you do.
If you do, try it on for size.
All right, page 45.
The prudes.
The prudes tweeted at 3 single guys. Spent this evening listening to at 3 single guys. Disgusting latest episode, which promotes female promiscuity under the label of sex positivity. These men do not know what they're talking about and should not be allowed to give advice. We are deeply concerned for the impressionable young girls listening to their program. I hope to God one day someone accuses us of promoting female promiscuity.
Oh, what an honor.
Yeah. Hell yeah, we are.
We are promoting women having a fraction of the same rights to exist in this world sexually as men have since the dawn of fucking time.
Exactly.
Of fucking time.
So the moment someone accuses us of promoting female promiscuity, I'm going to retweet that shit.
Oh my God, that's our brand.
Yeah. Female promiscuity.
Yeah, that's our t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh my God, y'all. Yeah, this is the anti-podcast.
Yeah. I just don't know how people like this. They probably are miserable. I was going to say, how are they not miserable? They are. That's because only someone who is miserable would spend all of their time trying to like take other people down for something that they're enjoying. I just don't understand that.
That's a good point. I've had some situations here lately in friendships I haven't talked a lot with you about yet, but yeah, only miserable people are spending their time taking down others.
Yeah.
Why, y'all?
Like
life is short.
Like I'm not miserable, so I'm actually enjoying my time, not worrying about other people.
Yeah. Life is fragile and precious, and people are going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Maybe if you don't understand, just move on.
Yeah.
Or like hone in on what you're good at. Like with their podcast. Okay, they have a different content. Cool. Like talk about whatever they're talking about, and their listeners can listen to their things.
Yeah.
Don't tweet about our fictional podcast that we love.
Yeah. And we can quote Taylor Swift here. I ain't trying to mess with your self-expression, but I've learned a lesson that stress and obsess about somebody else is no fun.
It's no fun. Life is short.
Yeah.
Shake it off.
Worry about yourself.
Shake it off, shake it off.
Worry about yourself.
Karma's my boyfriend.
Karma is my boyfriend. Page 49, you've got Wii U trope alert.
She has drawn 2 sirens.
2 sirens.
They looked like cruise ships, but that's besides the point.
It's really hard. I don't know how to draw sirens very well.
It's all right.
You want to date me? I asked later that evening, my stomach flipping. Fake date, Josh corrects quickly. It would all be pretend.
Oh, Josh, who's in love with her. Okay.
He wants to date her.
He wants to real date.
So, yeah, that's our trope alert. Fake dating. You get that pretty early on, page 49.
God, fake dating's so fun.
I love it.
Do people really fake date? I know we asked this last time, but if y'all fake dated, can you please let us know?
Yes, please. We want to know so bad.
It sounds really fun.
I know.
Could we fake date with someone? No.
No, probably not.
That ship is sailed.
We're done with that.
That cruise ship's gone. Yeah, fake dating is going on here, but this is fake dating trifecta.
Yeah, trifecta, fake dating, and as the title suggests, with benefits.
Yeah, fake-ing with benefits.
That's right.
The cover has 3 cute guys and her.
Yeah. 3 guys, 1 girl. Page 55, I just highlighted, so where do I sign? And I just wrote, everything gets hotter when the no feelings contract gets signed.
Yes! Okay, is this a trope for every fake dating? There has to be a contract?
So a lot of them do have a contract. I'm not sure all of them, but I think it's very common where it's like, we will not fuck each other. We will not fall in love. Okay.
Okay. Hey, it's oddly reminiscent of a purity pledge. It's as if whenever you make a pledge to do something that's impossible to do, you're going to be even more drawn to do it.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's interesting how that works.
All right. Page 86. Sorry, this is complicated. So this book is also alternates perspectives, but there are 4 characters.
So if you look through the table of contents,
It's like Layla, Zach, Josh, Layla, Zach, Luke.
transcript, Twitter, Zach, Layla. It's so cute.
So I'm constantly, that's why like I'm just I'm like figuring out where I am because I just don't know who's talking.
Well, and as an author, like that's got to be hard-ish to write.
Yeah.
That's tricky. So props to you, Lily Gold.
So page 86, this is Layla's perspective. I think she's talking to Josh. He gently removes me from his front, hand stroking down my back. I'm breathing hard. Sorry, some prick with a Rolex was looking down your top. He picks up his jacket and wraps it around my shoulders. Let's gift wrap you again. Oh. A Rolex, I tease as he tugs the zip up to my chin. Ooh, a rich man. Maybe I should go flirt with him instead.
Ooh.
And I just wrote, a fucking insolent woman.
A fucking insolent
argumentative,
woman.
Antithetical, dream girl.
Yes, that is exactly who she is. He's got a protective energy. He is here to gift wrap her, which is a great way to say, like, I'm going to protect you. Like, let's gift wrap you. Okay, that's a sweet way. I love it. It is like, that is also my response whenever my partner is coming at me with any kind of a protective, guard golden retriever energy. I am always like, ooh, well, what's on the other side must be good.
Yeah.
Like,
I want that. Give me it.
You're trying to keep it from me, so not with that.
Give me.
Give me.
Yes.
It's sweet.
The next thing I have highlighted is it's directly after that. So she has said, oh, a rich man.
Maybe I should go flirt with him instead.
Yeah. And it says, he stiffens, his hand still on my throat. Don't. I'll end the night in a jail cell. I'm pretty sure he's joking, but his voice is so rough that it makes my insides jump. Are we exclusive then? I can only practice flirting with you. He lowers his hand. That's up to you, he says quickly. This is only our first date, right? His eyes meet mine, hot and dark. If you were mine, I'd want you all to myself.
My stomach drops like I'm on a roller coaster. I open my mouth to respond, and my mind goes completely blank.
Me too. And I feel like my guy is still winning.
I feel like all of your notes are only going to have to do with Josh.
No, I do
because
highlight.
I don't have any notes about Zach. So I feel like this is an unfair. I feel like that's why you told me to not have notes this episode, because you are going to promote only Josh.
Excuse me.
I propose that we end this podcast now, so that I can do a deep reread of only the Zachary chapters.
No, you would accuse me, your friend, of being selfish in this book.
Yes, I would.
I was trying to relieve the pressure on you, but
as a way to harm me directly. Exactly.
I do have things
You mean
from
me
Zach.
harm.
I know specifically that I have written in here at some point, okay, Zach gets a point.
Once!
That
yes,
I remember.
You already said that.
No, I gave you that point for free. That's a different one.
Oh my God, okay. There's an addition. Okay, I have 2 points. I need for our listeners to know that this is a very biased note.
It is not.
Okay,
You'll see.
But it
We're only
really
on page
is.
90 and
Okay.
there's 500 fucking pages in this book.
Josh, y'all. Well, you know what? The truths speak for themselves. Josh is a sad boy, and Zach is a golden retriever, and so he's the best.
We'll see.
That settles it.
Page 90. Oh, so they are talking on, like, they had talked about a girl they had previously all dated before, a girl named Monica.
Good sign, by the way.
They've done it before.
Apparently, if you're gonna be the new to a poly situation, dating folks, and we have a friend who identifies as polyamorous, and she has shared that it is helpful when other people know a thing or two about how to do the things.
Yes.
So that's like a little green flag for all of them, that like they've successfully all had a healthy poly relationship before.
Yeah, we're gonna try not to speak for the poly community because we're not in that community, but like we have a very good friend who is who's poly, and so tangentially we know some stuff.
Yes, we do not speak for other experiences, but we will share little tidbits for those who are curious to learn more.
Yeah. And just as a disclaimer, if you're going to be judgy about it, this might not be the episode for you.
Ooh, this is really not. Yeah, we can maybe in the show notes. There's some really beautiful. I did a project in our grad program in our human sexuality class on polyamory, and I've read a lot of great little books and resources about, reducing stigma. And there's lots of the communication of polyamorous relationships has to be so much better than just a dyad, just two humans,
just two people.
You gotta have so much communication,
to be able to talk to everyone. So
anyway, props. So I have so much respect, and so if y'all are curious, it's normal to have questions. We are just not going to necessarily answer those questions, but we will say, don't be judgmental.
Yes, we can give you some resources, but we can't give you any expertise, advice, or answer your questions because that's not our area, and we have to hold ethical standards. We don't do things out of our scope of practice. Yes, we do not practice outside of our scope. Exactly, that's the rule.
Sorry, you were talking about something fun, and I
no, that's important. So there. Layla has listened to them talk about Monica, the girl that they all dated, but she's kind of like, I don't know about that. I'm confused. And she says, and there's no way in hell that Luke would share a girl with two other men. He's too polite. He probably he probably only has very gentle missionary sex while he tenderly strokes his girlfriend's cheek and looks her lovingly in the eyes. Look,
so actually.
Yeah. So I wrote here, this is foreplay shadowing. Do we really believe that Luke is the pure missionary man?
The silver fox.
Do you really believe that?
From just what you've heard, face value, about this angry silver fox. Do we believe that?
It's almost as if it's the opposite, and he's the dirtiest of all of them.
He really is. Oh my God.
Yeah. I like Luke.
Luke gets lots of stars.
So many stars.
Well, is Luke the actual winner? Wait a minute.
Wait. We'll have to think about that when
listeners chime in.
Is Luke the best of the three of them?
Are we just blinded by our
types?
Maybe our hats are saying it all along.
It's the daddy.
We should have been. He was lost in plain view.
He comes in late. It's so hard to remember.
I know, but he comes in hot.
He comes in super hot.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Okay. This is page 95, and they're talking about, they're doing the fake dating thing, and they're trying to get a feel of what she likes, what she doesn't like, what she's good at, what she's not good at. And Josh asks her, do you like kissing at all? And she says, no, it's boring. I fixed the strap of her shirt, stroking my fingers down her arm. I don't think you're kissing the right people, babe.
Yeah.
I mean, so I wrote, boring. Okay, when I was a good little Christian and kissing was all that we were doing, we would do it forever. Hours.
You can, kissing, y'all.
When you're trying to avoid having sex, You can think of a lot of things to do.
You can
with your mouth.
Get real fucking creative regarding fucking.
Yeah.
With kissing, make out, like, and I will say, making out feels like a lost art now.
I know,
because like we'll just do other stuff, but like making out was so fun.
I know.
There's this
everything's hotter when
things are off limits.
Yeah.
When things are off limits. There's this parking space that we drive past at the big theater close to your house.
Oh, yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about. The big theater close to your house. And every time we drive past it, I think about how we fogged up the windows in the car. And Jay's he drove like a little car. Anyway, we were in the back seat. Like we moved to the back seat is what I'm saying. The windows were fogged up. We were waiting for our movie or something.
That's hilarious.
But I just think of it every time. I'm like, those crazy kids.
Crazy kids. Okay, on page 96, I highlighted our first good girl of the book. If you like praise. I know what you're going to say. Okay. It's fine. You can.
Side note, I love bringing in our real life, I guess. So today, I golden retriever partner, sad boy partner, Kay is sad boy partner, I have golden retriever partner. We've covered this so fucking many times. I'm so sorry, y'all. But we were talking about, or your partner was like, what would be the guys' hats? Because we're both sitting there in our, baby pink daddy hats that are exactly what you think they're saying. And then they're like, well, we need matching ones. And A was like, they would say, good girl. And then we're like, Kay immediately turns beet red.
My face was so red.
You hadn't even had that much sangria. But you were just like, yeah, it would say that.
Who likes that? I don't know.
Who would? That's crazy talk.
That's so weird.
So praise kink.
So if you like praise, there's a lot of praise in this book. They all do it.
Yes.
All three of them.
Yeah, she loves it. It's really sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
Continue.
I'm reading my note, and I think you're going to get mad at me. Page
Probably will.
102. He takes a step forward, crowding me against the wall, and bends his face so his face is right by mine. I breathe in the cool scent of him. This is Josh, by the way.
Of course, it's
He
fucking
smells
Josh.
like sweet mints. My mouth starts to water. It occurred to me, he says slowly, that a data set of one is completely useless. The data they're talking about is kissing. So she kissed Zach, and she and Zach were practicing.
Yeah.
And that got her all like hot and bothered. And so she's walking down the hallway to the bathroom to like splash her face with water.
Yeah.
And then Josh like shows up in the hallway and is like, maybe we need another data point.
So there's a data-oriented piece here.
It's interesting. So I just
Science.
look, I have a type. I get it.
You really do.
Smart guys who make data sound hot. Very similar to sexy conversations that I've had with my own partner. I understand. Okay.
You really resonate, but I would like to make the point that Zach got her hot and heavy.
He did.
So,
it was hot.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, but you're alarmingly consistent.
It's upsetting, and I'm so sorry.
Are you though?
So, okay, page 105. I highlighted. He grunts, licking his tongue against mine. Where's your weak spot? I don't have one. He presses me harder against the wall, which is a good thing because I think I might collapse without support. Everyone has one. And she responds, my only weaknesses are bullets and beheadings.
Bullets and beheadings.
Fucking insolent, argumentative, antithetical dream girl.
Antithetical dream girl. It's brilliant. I don't know. Under the pressure of 3 men, I think I might. She stands strong.
Yeah.
She talks back.
Yeah, she's like,
This doesn't bother me.
I don't have any weaknesses unless you're trying to shoot me, so.
Yeah. She's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
pretty
love
cool.
her.
I know. She's good people.
Okay, page 108. This is Luke talking. I'm 10
Luke's
years
coming in.
Yeah, I'm 10 years older than the girl. I used to be her teacher.
That's the point.
Yes, and I just wrote, what trope do you like? Because this book's got them all.
Yes,
What do you like? It's in here.
It really covers it all. Zach. Yep, Zach says unhelpfully. That's pretty hot. Bet she had a schoolgirl crush on you. Bet she wrote your name all over her notebooks in class.
Hot.
It is hot. It is, you know, it does give me the heebie-jeebies sometimes when we're talking about actual minors, but this is not a minor. She's a grown-ass woman.
Oh, yeah. I whenever my kids, students, children, they're teenagers, but sometimes they feel like children.
Yeah.
If they will like say a teacher is hot, I am like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I tell them that it's gross. I'm like, you're green gross. Do not say that.
Yeah,
He's way
it's
too
not
old
funny.
for you. It's not cool.
Yeah, it's not cute.
And also he's married and has a baby, so
yeah. And it grosses him out too, I hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and to Zach, king of my heart, to Luke's credit, I don't think he ever insinuates that he definitely saw her then as a student and as like someone that he was, not taking care of, but like in charge of in a professional way. And there some stuff comes out that he like has remorse for, that he wasn't an attentive enough teacher. It sounds very professional. It's almost like a turn off that she was his student. So his ethical side is strong.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I mean, that's like, he doesn't want to be with her. He's like, no, I taught her. That's not, no.
Yeah, and so props. Like Lily is making this as far as possible from being creepy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he says here, a schoolgirl crush, because when I was a married adult with a full-time job, she was a teenage girl. I'm not going to kiss her. That's disgusting. He quickly changes his tune.
He doesn't think it's that gross later on.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
He thinks it's very not gross. All right, page 111. I highlighted, dating isn't about making people like you. It's about working out whether you like them.
Ooh.
And I just wrote, that's an interesting take. I like it. So it's like,
yes,
it's not about making you like me. Do I like you?
That I have used that spin with some of my, I try to use that with all of my dating clients. I love the perspectives of, let's talk about how this makes you feel.
Right.
How do you feel about being treated to like this? How do you feel like turning the discovery inward instead of, because it can get so like, how can I make this person, do they like me? And we lose touch on whether, I don't know, the codependents among us lose touch on what do we like? What do we want?
Right.
That's a skill to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I mean, obviously we're not dating anymore, but for those of you who are dating, who cares if they like you? You might not even like them.
Yeah. We can get so lost in do they like us?
Yeah.
And really all that matters and all that you're responsible for, my dear friend, is do you like them?
Exactly.
So yes, I appreciate that they say that.
Page 135, I just highlighted, we don't lie on this podcast. And look, unintentional lies don't count, okay? We sometimes lie on the podcast. It's an accident.
Yeah, wait, I'm trying to think of something we lied about.
Giving general like stats or data that's not exactly researched. It's like this percent of women, like we don't really know. We know that it's in that
false data.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, see that as someone for whom facts and information kind of just floats around and is not concrete at all in my brain, that's an unintentional. I round up and I round down. Like I'm rounding things.
Yes.
We're not precise.
Yeah. Well,
we
know when we say a stat, it's like in this general area, we know it's more than half.
Exactly. That's what we're saying. But yeah, if you really fact checked us.
Yes.
We did with the Jacob's Ladder. We brought in
that was real fact checking.
Wikipedia was full.
We fact check the important stuff.
You can
trust all that matters.
You can trust anything on Wikipedia. So
Wikipedia is the most accurate source to find information.
Exactly. You heard it here first.
Page 137. I highlighted inside a pink rubber penis wrapped in glittery tissue paper stares back up at me.
A gift.
A present from the boys. I just wrote, get a bucket and a mop.
Yeah. Why did they send this dildo? Yes, ladies and ladies, I am saying dildo on the podcast. Why? We can't do it on Twitter apparently, but we can do it on here. Why did they send this to her?
they're trying to educate her because sweet Layla has not had an orgasm with a partner.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So they're encouraging her own self-exploration as a way to increase her pleasure.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's interesting that getting toys involved is not a competition, but really an aid.
It only enriches
the experience.
And folks with vulvas need to explore.
That's right. Because we're taught not to explore.
Yeah, it's actually really important. And I think it's really beautiful that the guys are like, hey, have some fun.
Yeah. It's like, I did not know how to put a tampon in for like a very long time.
There are a lot of holes.
Yeah, it's confusing. And the reason I learned was because my partner started touching me. And I was like, oh. I have learned it.
It all makes sense. It all makes sense.
It's interesting when you learn more about your body, you can help yourself.
Our bodies are not scary.
Yeah.
Our bodies are good. Our bodies are neutral. I'm also team like our bodies are functional, whatever helps you be in a healthy relationship with your body. But like our bodies are nothing to be afraid of. Yeah. Explore. Friends.
Yep.
Get you 3 boyfriends who send you a dildo.
That's right. Page 140, chapter 19. I just highlighted the phrase pineapple chunk because Zach gives Layla so many nicknames, just like random phrases.
Yes, he does. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting that he gives her a lot of nicknames.
Yes. And so I wrote here that I wish I'd been making a list of all the things that he calls her because it's different every time.
Who does that remind you of?
And I literally wrote, very similar to A's partner if we're being for real.
For real. We're being so for real right now.
If we're being so fucking for real.
Yeah, that's what the kids say.
Yeah.
Well, this is not confidential, so I can share. My partner. Well, it's landed on Baby Panda. It's stayed at Baby Panda for many years now, but he usually answers. So this started when we were dating, and he would answer the phone in the morning with the good morning. Because my partner is a poor texter. He only does phone calls. And so he will text, but it's terrible. You don't want him to text you. It's never correct. But he will say, it was Happy Tapioca Pudding. This is mine because we can't remember Zach's, so we'll do mine. Pandasaurus Rex is common. Tiny Dancer frequently.
Yeah.
Notice none of these are also nicknames that you could have for like a 3-year-old. None of these are remotely sexual.
Same way. It's like pineapple chunk.
Yes.
Brie cheese. Little rice ball.
Yes. These are all just adorable, tasty things. So
yeah,
maybe that's the theme here.
Yeah.
Very on brand.
I'm so sorry, but on page 148, I have written 3 cheers for my man Zach. My man Josh.
God, is this about the neck kissing?
I don't know. He does like his neck kiss. That's so true.
That's his little button.
Josh, this isn't something I'm actually looking for. I can barely find one man I trust, let alone 2 or 3. I look down at my hands. It's a fantasy, not something I actually want to put into reality. There's a pause, but you can. Josh says quietly. He shifts his weight, bringing his face closer to mine. His warm breath touches my cheek, and I feel a hot pulse between my legs. You can. 3 cheers. Hee. He's in love with her, and he's also, which means that he is willing to live out her fantasies with her.
That's true. It's not a selfish love. It's a love. He wants what she wants.
Yeah.
He's also, we know where the story ends. So he's down to share.
Yeah. Page 150. So this is pre-first threesome scene. It's just Zach and Josh. Luke is not there because Luke is being very indignant and proper, and this is not right.
Morals and stuff.
Not right as in the group, but not like he is feeling personal feelings that he does not want to get involved.
Because she was a student. Yeah. And they've all 3 had a girlfriend together before.
Yes. And so Layla basically was like, I want to try this. Like, I want to do this with you all.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And so instead of getting down to business, they turn on Pride and Prejudice. and cuddle her on the couch.
Yeah. Interesting how a little Netflix and chill moment.
Yeah. And so I highlighted, isn't there usually more touching involved and less Jane Austen? Actually, this is ideal. Jane Austen foreplay is this entire brand.
That is exactly our entire brand. We need a little hand touching moment.
Yes.
We need a "You Have Bewitched Me, Body and Soul."
Yes. And I don't know if I highlighted it, but like later on, she's like, "What are you like? What is going on? Why are we not doing anything?" And
watch the movie.
Yeah, and they're like, "You're super tense. You're overthinking it. You're not going to enjoy it like this. So watch the damn movie."
Aww,
it's like,
the perfect movie, really. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think it's interesting that Pride and Prejudice comes up in this book. It's as if Pride and Prejudice was the original
OG smut.
OG smut, yes. I just saw this. I think it's Zach who says it. He says, while they're watching the movie, "Sex isn't an item you can check off a to-do list." Mm-hmm. He reminds me, "Look at you. You're all clenched up. There's no point in trying to get you off while you're like this." He squeezes my thigh. I wriggle in his grasp. "But who's the teacher here?" He interrupts. "And who's the hapless student who can't come while she's getting railed?" All right. I shut my mouth.
Not so much an insolent woman anymore.
He says, "That's what I thought." He turns to the volume on the TV. Watch the movie.
Yeah. All right, Zach, you can have another point.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All right, page 156. This is the wrong holes, but I still like it. It's a front clasp I manage, more accessible for people with arthritis and poor mobility.
Yes.
You know what? I love that. Accessible clothing, especially lingerie for people.
Yes.
That is not something that really exists. So
lingerie is notoriously impossible to navigate.
Yes. Very complicated.
For folks with full range of able-bodied things. It is really, lingerie is tricky.
Yeah. All right, page 157. This is... just so you all know, the sex scenes in this book span chapters, like multiple chapters. It's like pages of very descriptive.
Well, they've gotta, because there's 4 people in this bedroom.
Yes. So it's descriptive as fuck.
There's a lot of coming.
There sure is.
For everyone.
Yep.
It's a doozy.
Mm-hmm. So page 157, I highlighted... "I'm so distracted by his mouth on my chest, I barely even noticed Josh sliding to his knees in front of the couch." And I wrote...
What did you write?
"He kiss it when he eat it." The prophet, Megan Thee Stallion.
The prophet, our Lord and Savior. How do we like our men?
On their knees.
Yes.
It's catchphrase o'clock, my friends.
Yes. We are trope inception. We have tropes within our podcast.
Yes. The next page, 159, chapter 23. I'm going to quote the prophet Megan Thee Stallion again.
Wow.
"When he finally reaches my underwear, he closes his eyes and buries his face between my legs, inhaling deeply.
Yes.
I gasp as his nose presses into the sodden lace of my panties, and then he starts to lick me." And then I just wrote, "Ate it with the panties on."
Ate it with the panties on. It's as if Megan Thee Stallion knows a thing or two.
She is passionate about it, and me too.
Yeah. Harry Styles, Megan Thee Stallion. These are... They worry about the right holes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, about 3 or 4 lines later, I just highlighted the word off. Take them off.
Yes.
Just because I want to note that it is page 159, 28% through this book, and this is a 3-way. Like,
and these are still on.
This is not a slow burn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is,
28% of the book, and we're having a 3-way.
Yeah, y'all, that's what you're getting.
Yeah. I just want y'all to know.
Yeah, that's the information we're here to provide.
Page 161, I highlighted just Pixie Stick because that's another nickname. Pineapple Chunk, Pixie Stick. I wish I'd kept a running list because I really thought those nicknames were funny.
They're fantastic. Nicknames are important.
I think they are. Page 164. Didn't you talk about banging a woman on her kitchen table the other day? Her voice is light, but I can hear the desire in it. The image of her all naked and flushed and wet on our dinner table flashes before my eyes. I give her butt a little slap. Next time, I'm trying to be a gentleman. I should tell you what I want, she points out, and as I kick open my bedroom door, I don't want a gentleman.
Oh.
And
She does not want a gentleman.
Yeah, truly. Please don't be a gentleman when I'm trying to be a little slut.
Don't be polite.
Respect me by throwing me on the table. That's what I wrote.
It's not the vibe. Yes, respect me by throwing me around. God.
I want you to respect me by disrespecting me.
Yeah. Very. Yeah. The difference between streets and sheets cannot be more clearly aligned than in our smut. In chapter 23 at the very end, I would just like to throw this in. I think we're bouncing around a touch, but
that's okay.
This is just a little to my point, that to the hill that I will die on, that Zach is better than Josh. Thank you.
And let's not forget what Zach does at the end of the book, but okay.
That's not the point. That's not, worry about the right holes. Streets and sheets. A big iron cuts between us. I look up into Zach's bright blue eyes. He smiles at me hungrily, pulling me out of Josh's arms and wrapping me up in his own. It's my turn, I think. You blinked thrice. You just looked at me and blinked.
You lost me at blue eyes.
Your partner has blue eyes.
No, he doesn't. They're hazel.
Oh. I'm sorry, I haven't looked deeply into your eyes.
That's okay. I'll forgive you for that one.
Okay, cool. Okay. Well, I just think it's cool that he like pulled Layla out of Josh's arms, and that was cool.
You thought that was cool?
I thought that was cool. 2 thumbs up. 5 stars.
Approved. Mm-hmm. Okay, page 218. I highlighted how the head of the year told me I should be grateful because, quote, when a boy picks on you, he's clearly interested in you. And then she called me a slapper behind my back as I walked away.
Ooh.
Y'all, this is exactly why we need to stop saying that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a man likes you, he will, 1, not treat you like shit, and 2, he will not let other people treat you like shit.
Ugh. Yeah.
That is, no, we're done with that.
That's not an okay to teach at any age.
Mm-mm.
Of, oh, he just likes you, so he's picking on you. That is toxic for the little boy that is hearing that, because it starts at a young age. Oh, that's cute. He's throwing rocks at you or whatever. He likes you. No. That is toxic for everyone involved. Everyone. Real, healthy little people and who grow up into big people, they defend folks who are being harmed, and they speak up for what's right.
Yeah, like if a man likes you, or if a boy, whatever, if you're young, there's not any minors listening to this podcast, but if they like you, if they like you and they treat you like shit, that's a red flag, and you should not date that person.
Yeah.
If they like you, they should treat you kindly and respect you when you want to be respected.
There's a streets and sheets paradigm here, and I think that's the thing that folks are drawn to sometimes is, being treated poorly. I don't know. This is a longer discussion for another time, but it just, y'all, you deserve to be treated with respect.
Yes.
With kindness in your relationship. Now, in the bedroom, you can have different rules.
Yeah. The bedroom.
But still safe and healthy, But it can look like lots of things.
That's right.
Look like lots of things.
Page 232. So Layla is struggling a little bit with some stress and anxiety about her work. I think it's like she lost the purchasing order or something. Wrong holes. Who cares? But she is basically saying, like, telling Josh, hey, like, I just do not feel... Well, she tries to make herself feel better by having sex with him, but he's like, dude, no, this is not...
You're not... There's a little boundary there.
Yeah. You're not in the right headspace. And then he's like, tell me like how you're actually feeling. And she's like, well, I feel fucking terrible. And then she says, I'm sorry. And then he says, tonight's lesson, never apologize.
Oh,
that's a point for Josh, my friends.
I'll give it to him because that is classy.
Yeah.
He did not take advantage of her. And I see here, he says, there's no right answer here. Elle, what do you need? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's trying to help.
Yeah, we don't apologize for saying no to sex, my friends.
Yeah. Oh God. Whew. If it's not the right time,
it's not the right time.
That's okay. it's your responsibility to say it.
Yeah.
If you're not
Sorry,
feeling
I'm
it.
not laughing at you. I'm laughing at my next thing, which is if this is a hard left turn. So sorry. Page 233, I highlighted, I'm not cute, I'm terrifying. It's me.
She's very cute, for the record. Not terrifying.
He wraps his arms tighter around me and pulls me flush against him, so we're spooning. I wriggle against him angrily. I make men jump from windows and flee from restaurants to get away from me. His eyes glow almost luminescent in the low bedroom light. I'm not fleeing, he says.
Aww.
And I wrote, do I have a men that stay kink?
Oh, the kink of all kinks. Men that stay.
Men that stay. They don't leave me.
Men that fix the abandonment trauma.
I'm scared.
The men that stay kink.
Yeah.
Is that a real kink?
Y'all know that kink?
Do you know what kink we're talking about? I think we do.
Yeah. You all know.
The men who
you
care.
attachment girlies know.
Yes. It's beautiful.
Page 254. I highlighted, I try to be gentle and respectful, but whenever I'm turned on, I just turn into this commanding, authoritative prick. Can you all guess who's saying this? Is it? It couldn't be our boring missionary style sex man, could it?
Yeah, it's as if the foreplay shadowing was saying like that he would maybe be a little spicy.
A little spicy. Yeah, and I just said, you say that like it's a bad thing. Doesn't sound like a bad thing to me.
I don't think so at all. Yeah, there's a real Dom energy with Luke, which adds a different layer. I do appreciate that Lily kind of, these are not three of the same guys. These are three very different guys.
Oh, they are all very different.
Very different preferences and styles.
Yes, and they're all very focused on making sure that Layla is the center of attention, which is something that I like.
A nice kink. Make it all about me.
All about me. On page 267, I just made a note here that in case you need to do some personal research, this first foursome scene starts in chapter 39 and continues through chapter about 41. So you can do with that information what you will.
Several chapters.
So if you're looking for something, you know, the right holes, start around there.
Yeah, that's there are a lot of details that go down.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
Things unfold.
Look at my note. It's like a paragraph
of handwritten calligraphy note.
Page 268. I just highlighted his eyes are fixed on my behind, and I just said. I'm absolutely not reading this scene to you, but this is informed consent because this is extremely explicit, multi-penetration sex. Yeah. So if that's not for you, then you will not enjoy this book. Yeah. If you do like it, let's go.
If you're curious. Because sometimes you gotta read it to find out if you like it.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta know.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you like reading about it, but not interested in doing it in real life, and that's also fine.
Yeah, that is an acceptable way to express your sexuality, y'all.
Yes.
You get to enjoy it in whatever way. Like, we can enjoy reading about things, and I don't want this.
I don't.
But I'm so happy for Layla.
It's too many bodies.
It's too many bodies, but this sounds really fun for them.
Yeah, it's great for them, and it worked on. I mean, I enjoyed reading about it.
Yeah, that is one way to say that. I enjoyed this read.
I was gonna put on the review on Amazon. I enjoyed this read.
Yeah, sometimes I read the like Kindle Unlimited reviews, and they're like, "This was an excellent," and I'm like, "Okay,
yeah, we get it." Page 269, I highlighted just the word squelch.
On page 269,
nice. And I wrote just a sneak peek into how descriptive and dirty the scene is. The word squelched is used as a descriptor of a sound that is made.
Yeah, you know, this is... So we've reviewed a few authors now. This is our first Lily Gold. The descriptions. It's vivid. A vivid picture of what's going on. Yeah. And you know, that's not the vibe for every book. I'm not... Me personally, I don't need... I mean, my imagination is pretty thorough. But it's nice to, like, okay, spell it out for me. Make it clear. interesting.
And she makes it extremely clear.
Yeah, there's not a lot left
I'm not
to your
confused,
imagination.
other than like wondering how exactly are they all fitting in this one space.
These are some enormous beds.
Okay, on page 272, I highlighted, this is Luke speaking. It's okay. Luke's hand trails down my neck, massaging me into softness. Relax. You can take it. And, and I wrote, look, if y'all enjoy a little praise or encouragement, you are getting fed in this scene. It is a lot. And also,
Literally.
we're pretty deep into chapter 41, and the scene is still, same scene, still going.
But it's like the same scene, but it's like 4 sex scenes.
Yeah. I mean,
3. There's like 3 separate sex scenes,
but
it's the same thing.
But it's like there's so many things you have to describe. You have to do multiple chapters. The positions, different positions.
The artistry contained. My like middle schooler pun brain just keeps like everything we're saying is like could be
sexual.
Yeah, all of it. And so I hear that for those of you who are also hearing it. Just,
Page 277. This is the podcast. They're talking on the podcast. Josh is saying, we had several people saying that Layla should join our listener advice segment. So while you're here, love, would you like to read our one listener email? I've got one for you right here. Okay, my boyfriend is always asking me to ride his face, but I'm a bigger girl and I'm worried I might hurt him. From Kirby in Kentucky. Okay, babe, I don't know how strong the human head is, and I don't think it matters. There's no weight capacity. Just sit on his face, and if he dies, he dies.
Josh coughs violently.
Zach, damn straight. Bury him alive. Lucky guy. and then Luke. Our sweet Luke, the human head can withstand up to about 500 pounds of pressure, but that's not really a weight limit, since in this position you'd be kneeling with your weight balanced on your knees. If you struggle to hold your balance, try holding onto the headboard.
That is so practical.
It's just science, folks.
Yeah. Layla, nope, don't listen to him. You don't have to kneel.
That's right.
Sit on his mouth like a throne. Enjoy your ride, doll. Josh, do you need some water?
And then I just, it's just science, folks, and if that's the way he's meant to go, then so be it.
Yeah.
R.I.P., I guess.
What a beautiful way to go.
And I like that later on, Josh says, I just didn't realize that you were so experienced with sitting on guys' faces, and Layla says, I'm not. And then Luke, pushes his chair back and he's like, we're done. And you're coming with me.
Yeah, wait, come on.
Let's go, Luke.
Yeah, I think the, secret winner is maybe
Luke is pretty hot. He gets pretty self-righteous sometimes, though, which I
that's kind of gross.
Let's see, page 285. This is Josh's bedroom, and she's describing it. One entire wall is lined with bookshelves stuffed with thick-looking books. As I step closer, I realize they're textbooks with titles like Attachment Theory in Relationships and How to Solve Conflict and Appease the Inner Child.
Interesting.
That's another point for Josh.
Yeah. It is an interesting... Yeah. I have no argument. I don't. Does he care too much, though?
He does care a lot.
I think...
And he also, does a bad job of balancing stuff.
Okay, a good point in my favor.
You're welcome.
Is that that would not be a good match for me.
Yeah.
Because
you care
am
too much.
Josh.
Attachment theory in relationships.
Yeah, y'all have listened to this podcast enough to know I am the one over here let me talk about relationship health. And it's okay, can you, that's not helping anyway. There is a point where we need to loosen up. So because I bring that energy to the table, I deeply appreciate having a golden retriever energy.
Yeah,
Who wants me to lighten up?
Love it. Page 287. I highlighted, you're a podcast host, not a mental health professional. I wrote, oh God, what have we done?
When we were talking about this book, I completely forgot there was a podcast involved.
I forgot it was too.
The irony.
When I started reading, I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
You're a podcast host, not a mental... I'm both. And this is for free.
This is for free, y'all. Yeah, it's a problem.
This is hilarious. This is another podcast transcript. Page 295. Zach is saying, so this is the end of week 4 of our experiment. Today we focused on your sexting skills. Layla, what did we learn? Layla says that if a guy sends you a gray sweatpants pic, you don't respond with a magnifying glass emoji. Oh! Fucking insolent woman.
Fucking insolent woman.
Amazing.
That was the right response. You don't respond with a magnifying glass emoji.
Or you do. That's amazing.
That's hilarious.
If a man, especially if he sends you an unsolicited nude, send that magnifying glass. That is so fucking funny.
That is funny. Yeah, if it's unsolicited or if you're trying to be cheeky,
yeah,
the magnifying glass is the right response. And
then what else did we learn? That if a boy says send nudes, they're supposed to be pictures of me. Send a picture of someone else.
Yeah,
so funny.
That's a good point to learn now, isn't it? My
Layla
little bundt
knows.
cake.
She's just being an insolent woman.
Here's another. Oh, just a second. Let me read this. This is dirty. Zach, oh, I'll try plenty hard, my little bundt cake. Don't you worry about that. Layla, bundt cake? Zach, I like one with cream frosting. Because after I take you from behind, it looks like Luke interrupting. Actually, Zach, blah, 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 blah. So, bundt cake.
Bundt cake, add to the list. Pineapple chunk, pixie stick, bundt cake.
These are all sweet.
All sweet. All right. So we're getting into the wedding, I think. Yeah, so they're in
Luke's ex-wife.
The boys have booked a hotel suite, a romantic weekend for all of them together. 316,
right.
Chapter 47. I highlighted, Luke and Zach are already here, shoes and jackets off, sprawled out on the biggest bed I've ever seen. It's probably 2 meters wide and stacked high with plush-looking pillows. We'll all fit.
We'll all fit.
Yes. And so I wrote, for those of us who don't understand the metric system,
yeah, please explain.
6.56 feet. And in case you were wondering, I asked my partner, hey, how long is 2 meters? And without a calculator, he says it's 6.56 feet.
Of course you knew that.
And yes, it was hot.
A specific and strange kink, my friends.
It's a competence kink.
Oh, it is a competence kink. Yeah. A casual competence.
It's
but is that the thing we want to have competence in? The metric system?
Yeah. Babe, how far is 2 meters? It's 6.56 feet. Why do you want to know? Don't worry about it.
That's not the point.
It's none of your business.
It's the size of the hotel bed in my reverse harem romance.
Yeah. Look. California King.
Yeah.
We get it.
That's all.
Page 319, I highlighted, if we put a towel down, do you want to eat in bed? We have 7 courses. That's the hottest thing a man has ever said to me. Me too.
7 courses.
7 courses.
And eating in bed?
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Absolutely. Turn on Pride and Prejudice and let's go.
Yes. Exactly. The brand of this podcast. Okay, page 327. Luke takes the fabric and wraps it a few times around my wrist. Then he loops the ends around my hand and tugs my arm to the headboard, tying my wrist loosely to the bedpost.
Yes.
Here's your informed consent. She is going to be tied down for pretty much this entire 4-way scene. If you don't like that, you'll want to skip this scene.
Yeah. We're here to let y'all know.
Yeah, just so you know, some people don't like that.
And that's okay.
It's first just her wrists, and then eventually they do tie her ankles too. So she gets tied up completely eventually.
Yes. And they do nice things.
They do.
I mean, they're doing things that kind of torture her, but in a nice sexual way.
I enjoy it. I think I talked about that.
Yeah. Oh, good. Catch us up.
Page 330, I highlighted, if you want them off, just tell us and we'll untie you right away. And that is extremely important when you're going to do some bondage stuff. Make sure you establish something that lets them know you want to be done with it.
Yes. She kind of articulates some of that in here. I won't read it. But they are very attentively, Luke's big hand touches my cheek. Okay? He asks quietly, dipping his head so only I can hear. I look in his face and nod slowly, breathing out. I'm okay. I don't need to take care of myself. I trust the guys. They'll take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
Yeah. So, and this scene is a lot about like her pretty much giving up. Like the whole point of this exercise is for her to give up a little bit of control because she's struggling to like
be in the moment.
Yes. And it is an exercise in giving up control.
It is definitely that.
Yes.
We will leave the rest to y'all's imaginations.
Or will we? I don't know what I highlighted.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I think when I was reading this, I was also drinking, so...
Good.
Who can know it?
The optimal way to read this book
Yeah.
is a little tipsy.
Yes. And so when
those who partake.
when I drink, my brain is like, I will say this out loud and it'll be fine.
This is fine for the podcast.
Page 330, I highlighted, we're going to take you as far as you can handle, and then we'll give you as much pleasure as you can stand. It'll be worth it, I'll promise you that. I consider him, pursing my lips. You know, I can handle a lot. He grins, his eyes twinkling. Oh, pet, you really shouldn't have said that.
Oh.
Let's fuck around and find out.
Is that a dare?
Are you challenging me?
Well, we'll kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
Whew.
Let's fuck around and find out.
I think they find out.
Oh,
I think she finds out. Good
for
grief.
sure.
This is something.
Page 334, I highlighted, the guys bring me to the brink 2, 3, 4, 5 times. This is more informed consent. There is a lot of edging in this scene.
Yeah.
Like, enough to make it pretty painful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I see what they're doing, but dear God.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's impressive to be able to do that, because I feel like at some point
skill.
I might, like... I would take myself out of it, probably.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I think... I don't know. I can only speak to my own experience, but it does make me wonder, is that possible? Like, physically, as a person?
5 times? I think my body would probably give up. Like, okay, this is just not...
I know.
Hey, babe!
Do we need some more research on this before we...
Before we start talking about it.
Yeah, really.
Writes down. Later, must try.
Data. Need data on
need
this.
more data.
This would be something we could research further.
Oh, 2 data points.
Yeah, we need at least 2. Yeah.
All right, page 338.
Tipsy K
I'm so sorry,
thinks
y'all.
that these things are fine to read. Y'all are welcome.
Zach talks me through it. That's it, he murmurs in my ear. We'll have you coming so many times you forget your own damn name. Say it with me, folks.
Is that a promise, Captain? Is that a promise, Captain?
Y'all really liked that video on TikTok. You thought that was good.
You know, we also
Clearly think it's hilarious.
we also appreciate anytime we can say something at the same time. We also think it's incredible
You have
because
no
we
idea.
don't plan it.
No, you have no idea how excited I got when I was editing the podcast and I got to that. I immediately screen recorded it and sent it to A, and I was like, "Listen to this, it's so good."
We said something else.
And you're like, yes, nailed it.
We are baby children.
That's right.
We are easily entertained. Thanks for laughing along with us, y'all. We love y'all too.
Yes. All right, page 362. We're at the wedding now. We sit down. Oh, also to note, at this wedding, so before they go to the wedding,
God.
they put.
Stupid.
I think I talk about it later, but they put the Benoit balls, 5 of them, in her vagina.
These are new things I learned about in this book.
I learned about it from 50 Shades of Grey, which is not the way you should learn anything about sex. Just so we're clear.
Yeah,
But
I have not partaken. But yeah, poor thing.
it sounds painful. I never tried it, so I don't know. But
Yeah. You just like who rescues her.
well,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that scene.
You enjoyed that. The wedding. So I don't know that we covered this briefly. This is worrying about the wrong holes. I'm sorry, but
This is plot.
Luke's ex-wife was the headmistress at the Hogwartian school that,
Yeah, it really was.
that Layla went to. And
She's marrying Josh's brother.
the
It's so
incestuous-
strange.
Yeah. And why are they going? Anyway, well, obviously because of Josh's brother. But very interesting. She's still toxic as hell. And so Luke's in his feels.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got so many feelings about this. But weddings tend to bring this out.
Yeah.
Weddings.
That's why you got to get drunk.
Yeah.
That's the rule about weddings.
It's important.
Okay, page 362. We sit down a few rows from the front. Zach groans as he settles into his tiny chair. This is discrimination, he mutters under his breath, shifting, trying to get comfortable. Not everyone's got legs like a goddamn garden gnome. It's so hard for the giant rugby player.
It is.
It's so sorry.
Because she's so big and she's so strong.
He's so
he can't
big, he
fit
can't
everywhere.
fit. He's not a goddamn garden gnome. Yeah, and I wrote, we didn't read it to you, but she is wearing Benoit balls in this scene.
Yes, she is. I pinch his side to shut him up, and he gives me a heated look, setting a heavy hand on my thigh, a little too high to be socially acceptable.
Yes, so I was trying to picture this scene because he does, like, touch her in the scene. How are people not seeing his hand up her dress?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
I don't understand who people
Lived
don't see.
experience says where there's a will, there's a way. You get creative.
I just don't get it.
You get creative. I don't think anybody's saying that they can't be seen.
I guess you're right.
Like, I think people are stupid. I think people are doing stuff in plain sight all the time, and we just think no one would ever do that in public.
I guess you're probably right.
People are little freaks, and they're doing it in public.
Little freaks. Little
Love
freak.
it. Jezebel.
Yeah.
We know.
Harry. 396. I highlighted, this is Luke talking. Whether they were lies or not, it's completely inappropriate to judge an underage teenage girl on what she does in bed. Woo! She was a literal child, and you're calling her loose? Yes. In case you don't already know, slut shaming has no place on this podcast or anywhere near the space that we occupy. Especially when you're talking about minors.
At any age, but especially minors.
Yeah. Leave minors alone.
Yeah, one day the puritanical control of women hopefully will be stopped. But until that day, we have to, like, keep it healthy out there. This, y'all, it's so unnecessary. We would never do this about men. Cue The Man by Taylor Swift. Like,
yes.
God, it's so weird. Just leave people alone.
Just leave people alone. Okay, page 402. So before this scene, she and Josh have a little encounter in, like, a broom closet or something. But she still has the balls in. I just don't... Why you still got them on? Like, take them out. 5. Take them out.
Fall out. Don't they fall? Sorry.
I think... So...
Is the cervix that strong?
I don't think it's your... No, I don't think it's your cervix. I think it's, like, a Kegel exercise.
Does Kegel. To practice. How? No. Okay.
Yeah.
There's only one way to find out. We've got a lot of research assignments. We've got a lot of assignments.
Also to note, this is not what I highlighted, but he does say good girl 3 times.
Thrice.
In this scene. This is Zach.
It is, isn't it? Interesting.
Anyway, wrapping his forearm around my waist and hoisting me up against the wall.
Yes, he does.
An up against the wall kind of girl, are we?
I think every girl's an up against the wall kind of girl.
Oops. Yeah. So this scene is kind of a bummer. It's pretty hot until you, I guess I'm going to read about it right now, but it's pretty hot until you realize what Zach is about to do.
Yeah.
So page 406, and just so you know, one line above this, he lurches out of my grip and pulls his dress pants back up. Just so you know where we are in the scene, one line later, I can't do this anymore. His voice sounds like gravel. Cold slips down my spine. I can tell by the tone of his voice that he isn't just talking about the wedding. You can't do what anymore? I ask carefully. He waves between us, not meeting my eyes. The lessons, the dating, the kissing, the shagging, the fake couple bullshit. We can't do this anymore. I'm done.
I think you're picking on Zach.
I think he fucked her and then dumped her.
I think that I will have blind loyalty to a toxic man.
He doesn't make any mistakes because he's pretty.
Oh my God, if you can describe my ex. No, I know fully you make so many fucking mistakes. I hope you hear this one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that I can honestly evaluate this. I can set aside my love for Zach, and I can honestly evaluate that if you repress your grief, it will fuck you up.
It sure will.
It will also It will not just harm you. If you repress your feelings and you do not process them and you do not move through them, they will not just harm you, they will harm people you care about. They will have a ripple effect. Yeah, they will be felt. If you do not meet your needs directly, that you will meet them indirectly. If you do not feel your feelings directly, you will feel them indirectly.
It's not a good thing, y'all.
It is a principle of life. It is job security for me.
Yeah.
But y'all, come on.
Yes. You'll repress your feelings until you're in the grocery store and the grapes aren't on sale, and then you start crying about it.
Well, I've never done something like that. So
I've never cried in the grocery store before.
I think I've cried at every grocery store. I don't go to the grocery store. Yeah, I do say, like, we don't just carry our feelings, we carry everybody else's feelings in the community, all of them, all the time. And so it's a lot of feelings.
500 feelings.
It's too many. Wow, I can't even fathom. But yeah, you got to get them out. You're going to hurt people you care about. Zachary. Emotion, this is a freebie. Emotions are energy and motion in your body. They are physical experiences. Energy, this is some law of science that I cannot recall at this moment with the Bravazi and Sangria in my system, but energy and, what is it? Energy and motion, you can't just suppress it. It has to go somewhere.
Yes. There are laws of motion that exist.
Yes, there are laws of motion. This is
an object in motion will stay in motion until impacted on by another force.
Yes. And so when you push it down, it doesn't go anywhere. It just builds and builds and builds, and it's unpredictable, and you lose your ability to suppress over time. It's things start getting dysfunctional. This is, a broad overview of how it works. It's gonna blow up.
Yeah, just like, when you don't feel your feelings for a long time, and then you're all of a sudden like, why do I feel sick to my stomach all the time, every single day?
Interesting. Yeah.
Because your emotions are going to be felt in some way, and if your body has to force you to get physically sick, it will do it.
We call it psychosomatic.
Yeah.
It is real. I have a loved one who this is a real lived experience of, and it's gnarly, folks. Get help. Feel your feelings. Like, your feelings are not bad.
Yeah, your feelings are important and need to be.
Your feelings are valid. They are, and they within your feelings, within your emotions, the energy and motion in your body, is embedded priceless wisdom.
Yes.
There's priceless information in there that when you feel it and you let it out, then you have this wisdom. You have this clarity on where to go, what to do. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's a big life change because you feel your feelings and things feel clear. It's like, oh, I'm hungry.
Oh.
Often that's mine.
Yes.
I feel my feelings and I'm halt. I'm either hungry, angry, lonely, or tired.
That's right.
It's funny. It's funny how that works.
It's also how toddlers are.
We are all
giant toddlers.
Giant toddlers with sex drives, apparently. So, all that to say, our man Zachary, he doesn't feel his feelings.
He needs to feel those feelings.
So this is a great example. In fact, maybe it's to Zach's credit because he does this for us. He has this toxic breakdown so that we can see. This actually means that Zach has no flaws. So that we can see.
I think you're making stuff up.
He's teaching us.
Anyway.
There's no way to spin this.
Page 410. This breakup lasts a long time because all three of them have their individual breakups.
Yeah, it's the third act breakup is truly thrice strong.
And it's rough. Okay, this is Lily talking. Look, this spiraled out of control. We can both admit that. I think she's talking to Luke. But I'm not going to apologize for something that you also took part in. Ooh. This stupid experiment didn't require you to have your hands up my skirt 24/7. You chose to flirt with me constantly, to climb into my bed every night, to book us the goddamn honeymoon suite like we're a fucking married couple. I didn't make you do any of that. This was all you. So don't stand there and act like I'm crazy, overreacting, manipulative bitch when we did this together. Yes. Oh, maybe she's talking to Zach. I can't tell.
Well.
Can't know it.
Certainly not Josh. Couldn't be.
But yeah, so everyone needs to take ownership here. Like, Lily's taking ownership. Not Lily. Sorry, that's the author of the book.
But
Layla is saying, hey, this is what I did, and I understand that this was out of control. But also, you brought me to the honeymoon suite, and you romanced me and made me feel all these things, and then you're acting like there are also some things that you have done that you need to take ownership for. Interesting.
appropriate ownership, taking appropriate responsibility for what belongs to you, and holding others accountable for what belongs to them.
Yeah.
Wow, these are revolutionary concepts.
It's wild.
It's wild how in healthy adult relationships, we can take ownership courageously for what belongs to us. And then hold others accountable for what belongs to them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I will say, I don't know if I highlighted it. A point for Zach in that he does punch Donnie out at the live podcast thing, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. So
Donnie is her ex that treated her like shit and sexually harassed her at a bar. And
so Zach's muscles.
I know. I think I might have highlighted it later on where he says, like, hey, I could, like, they're confronting him again. And it's like, hey, I didn't do a very good job of punching you the first time because you still have all your teeth.
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not condoning violence, but in the sheets,
perhaps.
I enjoy it.
It's, romantic. Yeah. Okay.
Not violence against
We've
people.
been clear. That's not what we mean. Nobody thinks that's what we mean.
It's confusing. When we say streets and sheets, we don't always mean physically in the sheets.
We mean
Like, are we attracted to this?
sexually.
Yes. It might not be a green flag sexually, like, or romantically, or, you know, for relationships, but for some reason,
Yeah.
we like that.
And we're just talking about it. How it's interesting.
It's just interesting to
how
me.
sometimes things are a green flag in the sheets.
But a red flag
And
in this streets.
Yeah.
If we're good at anything, it's quoting our own stuff.
If we're good at anything, it is self-referencing.
Amazing. Wow.
Oh, yes,
If people don't like us, they are not going to like this podcast.
Yeah, this is truly just for folks who find this entertaining, and welcome. Y'all are our people. Yeah, I do appreciate that Zach's muscles came in handy here.
Yes. Okay, page 421.
Brushing right past that.
I didn't hear what you said.
That Zach's muscles came in handy here.
I think muscles are great.
Okay, well.
Josh has a 6-pack, apparently. I didn't highlight that because I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care what their body
Think muscles are nice.
Page 421. We're still breaking up, y'all.
Well, it's got to be a multi-chapter breakup.
Yes. So Luke is trying to defend Zach by saying, hey, look, he is going through something, like it's the anniversary of his ex-fiance's death, and like you just need to cut him some slack. And she says, no, I won't forgive him. She tucks the dress into the suitcase and reaches for the robe that she wore last night. He's grieving, she says firmly, and I'm sorry about that. Of course, I'm sorry about that. But that doesn't excuse his behavior. I told him that I loved him and he hurt me to make himself feel better. I don't think that's a valid coping mechanism, and I'm not letting him get away with disrespecting me completely just because he's sad.
Ooh.
And this is what we're saying to you all every week. Someone else's hurt does not belong to you. And no, you don't have to forgive people when they cross your lines.
No, you don't.
That is her boundary.
Yeah, she's saying the two things can exist. We can be sad that someone's heart is hurting, and we can also say it's not okay for you to hurt me in return.
Yeah.
We can trust our autonomy and our gut and our intuition. We can say, hey, this is my personhood, and it hurts that you have hurt me. And I am sorry that you're grieving. Like, I'm sorry. I genuinely, she genuinely means that.
I know. Yeah, so
we care, and
yeah, I'm sorry that you're hurting, but it is not okay that you are hurting me in this way.
Yeah, we can have boundaries.
Yeah.
I know boundaries is a buzzword, but this is a great example of like,
yeah. And if someone crosses your boundary, it is within your right to not forgive them.
Yeah.
Because you set the boundary. You said, hey, this is it. And if they disrespected the boundary, you don't have to forgive them for that.
Forgiveness is a really complicated concept, but forgiveness ultimately is for you. Like, forgiveness is releasing you of kind of carrying the weight of whatever happened. And so, yeah, forgiveness can, I used to believe it was like this all-encompassing thing that we always had to do. And now it's like, well, maybe we can release. We can take the wisdom from that experience and we can move forward. Maybe it doesn't have to be this like forgiveness. Maybe we can, I don't know, y'all take from that as you will. I'm not saying forgiveness is always wrong, but like maybe take wisdom. And forgiveness doesn't mean just letting people back into your life indiscriminately is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I think the word forgiveness, I think, is like, it brings some, like, it makes me feel like gross, but just because growing up in the church, like, everything is about being forgiven for your sins and you're dirty and wrong. And thank goodness there's a mystical creature that is here to forgive you for everything you've done wrong.
Your unspeakable badness. I was 5 when I prayed that.
Yeah. And so I just feel like when I hear forgiveness, it just brings me back to like those days where I was like, well, even if someone hurts me and treats me terrible, it is my responsibility to forgive them because that's what Jesus would want me to do. Jesus would forgive them.
He forgave me, a dirty, rotten, filthy human.
Therefore, I need to forgive this person for treating me like dirt.
Yes. And for context, this was the whole concept of forgiveness can really protect abusers.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. It can protect folks who are harming people, and it can kind of start giving people a free pass. And so we invite folks into a broader understanding of forgiveness, and maybe open your mindset there to what maybe my needs and wants and boundaries also matter. And I can forgive for me, but I can also honor, like, when my gut says, hey, this was really off. This relational situation was not okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to glean the wisdom that I have to learn from that. Take from that what you will, folks. Forgiveness is complex.
That's right. And remember, we're not an advice podcast.
Yeah. We're not an advice podcast. We just are, elbows deep in this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're humans. We're learning and growing and applying this concept in our lives and saying, hey, maybe we can. I'm thinking of Taylor Swift's. What was it? The Miss Americana.
Yeah.
I don't forgive and forget. I just forgot the two existed.
That's right. Oops.
I saw that quote recently. That clip.
Just forgot it existed. Okay, page 439.
She does not forget that Zach exists.
No, she doesn't.
Anyway, not to spoil.
As
Sorry.
evidenced by, I'm too sad to even put in earphones to drown them out. I'm too sad to do anything, really. And I just wrote, okay, but hear me out. This is prime Taylor Swift time. You're in the middle of a breakup? That's what Taylor Swift is for.
That's literally...
Alexa, play You're Losing Me by Taylor Swift.
Truly, the options are endless. And she might need a separate breakup song for her feelings for each guy. And so Taylor's
different.
got it covered. She's got it covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, Layla, I'm sorry that you didn't have us to help you through this.
And I'm sorry that you didn't listen to All Too Well, the 10-minute version while you were going through this.
Wow.
Because that really could have helped you. That's therapy for free.
10 minutes of it.
10 minutes.
Listen to that 5 times. That's a full 50-minute session.
Yep. Incredible. Page 440, I highlighted, especially when you're used to curling between multiple bodies to sleep.
Aww.
And I just... Okay, I'm really sorry. I know she's sad, but I just thought about 4 people in one bed.
Nope.
And that, for me personally, entirely too hot. I cannot sleep.
I would be far too toasty. Kay and I have platonically shared a bed traveling many times, and
I like that you emphasize platonically.
Platonically, I don't know. Maybe our listeners are curious. It's none of y'all's business, but no, it's just platonic. But we travel a lot together. Yeah, and so I am big on. I do not like to be touched when sleeping, but my partner, I've just gotten in the habit of like building a fort for myself. Like a protective pillow fort. And so I have done that with Kay too, like put the pillow to like build the little fort. And it's like, look, I know that you're going to sleep like curled up in a little ball too, but like I just need my little pillow fort right here.
She puts pillows like on every side of herself.
It's unique. So yeah, I would be sad if I didn't have my pillows, but not having 4 people in a bed.
Too many bodies.
That's not fun for me. My dogs don't sleep in the bed with me. I know that's high treason. They ask me every day. I know it's really bad, but I'm a light sleeper.
My dog does sleep in our bed, but
she's a good girl.
She's a good girl, and we have a king size bed, so
we have a queen size bed and 2 babies.
Yeah, 2 doggies. Okay, page 440. I highlight. Okay, also to note here, I'm gonna say a word that I think might be not cool to use. I looked it up. Just because I wasn't sure.
Is it pajamas spelled with a Y?
Sure is. So it is not a slur, but it is like super, it's like if we were to use the C word.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's super insulting, but it's also complicated because like for us, like saying cunt is like pretty bad.
Yeah.
But like in other cultures, it's not. And so like this word doesn't really mean anything to me. So it's like, anyway.
I know.
It's complicated. Okay, so I highlighted, it's funny, I've analyzed those photos so closely, the photos she's talking about. So one of the reasons they broke up was because Luke's ex-wife took photos of her kissing all of the men at the wedding. So Zach, Josh, and Luke. And they basically got released and they went viral.
At her own wedding, why?
Yeah. What are you doing at your own wedding? You're just taking a picture of other people? That's weird.
I didn't have my phone with me at my
Me
wedding.
neither. So they went viral and like basically everyone thinks that she like was cheating, or like they assume that something nefarious is happening, which is very strange because the podcast,
the whole premise
was them all dating. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's a big hole for,
that's a big, it really bothered me because they talked about being all together on the podcast and they talked about being with Monica, the other girl, I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
Yeah, and they talk, like, their podcast talks about poly relationships a lot. So it's just like...
That's not how... Well, maybe that's a broader, like, how people don't understand poly... Like, they assume that they're cheating. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Anyway, sorry. It's funny. I've analyzed these photos so closely. In every single one of them, it's the guys who are coming on to me. Luke is kissing my cheek. Zach is pulling me into his chest. Josh is tipping my mouth up for a kiss. But, of course, everyone naturally assumes that I'm the slag. It's interesting that it's almost as if women are treated more harshly than men when it comes to dating and sex.
It's as if, I'm trying to think of the lines from The Man, but it's as if like when a man does it, like he's cool.
Yeah. What's it like to brag about raking in dollars and getting bitches and models?
Yeah. It's all good if you're mad.
And it's okay if you're mad.
Yeah. It's like, it's a real double standard. I'm glad that Lily, our author, called that out here because, it's interesting how all the guys are coming onto her, but girls are judged, women are judged.
For the actions of men.
Not only are they being judged, they're being judged for the actions of the men.
Yeah.
Wow. Since the dawn of time.
Breaking news, folks. It's hard to be a woman.
Breaking news. There are double standards and gender roles.
Page 465. I highlighted, this is going to be wrong holes and I'm sorry. You don't have to forget someone to move on. I say, looking at the brick wall opposite us. When my mom died, it says mum, but I don't say that. So sorry. When my mom died, it consumed my life. It doesn't anymore. Some days I don't think of her at all, but it doesn't mean that she's gone. And so, grief is hard. This book talks a little bit about grief. It's hard. And that's my work email going off. Some days are perfectly fine and normal, and other days you're not sure how you even go on without the person being alive anymore, and that is normal. It's not a circle or as research suggests, even stages. It's not like that.
It's been disproven.
Yeah. So, like, feel your grief in the way that you need to feel it, because there's no right, wrong way.
Beautiful.
But make sure you do feel it, because grief very easily turns into bitterness and anger.
Yeah, and suppressed anger, because then when we're feeling all those things, we'll suppress it, because then those feel confusing too. That will turn into depression. It gets really gnarly, y'all. Just trust us. We see a lot of shit day to day. Just like feel your feelings. But yeah, I saw a beautiful picture of grief, like a grief meme, because that's the world I live in. And it was like and not a meme like mocking it, but it was like a graphic, and it was like a jar. Like at first, grief is like it's just like this huge rock, and there is no jar. But then like you are the jar. Like you grow to contain the grief, and the grief rock. I'm badly explaining this visual, but the grief rock does not change shape or size. Like the loss of this person or this experience, grief comes in lots of shapes and sizes, but the loss, there's always the loss there. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But our life grows to contain it. But sometimes life will hit up against it, and it hurts.
Yeah.
And it's out of nowhere. My birthday is next week, and I have different grief experiences. We all carry different stories, but my birthday's coming up, and it's hitting in different ways. And it's like, oh, this is unexpected.
Yeah.
I might need to feel this instead of suppressing it and then, getting sick. But little glimpse into take care of your mental health, folks. But it's we grow to contain it. Our life grows richer and full of more and more things, but the loss is always there, and
Yes. What is grief if not love persevering?
What is grief if not love persevering?
Yeah.
Because it is like it matters. The person you lost mattered and still matters.
Yeah.
And the experiences that you're grieving or whatever loss folks are carrying, it matters. And so of course it still hurts sometimes. We feel it, we move through it.
Yeah, it's always going to be a part of you.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's the spice of life. Just a little extra spice.
And that's why we need the highs too. We need the good thing. We need to fill our life with good things, because there's enough heavy and hard.
That's right.
We demonstrate both of those things in this podcast. We're like, let's talk about grief.
Let's talk about the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Okay. Anyway.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah. Okay. So they are on they call it the apology tour. So they're basically recording a live podcast trying to get Layla's attention because she's gone off the grid. And
that is a way to get the attention of folks.
Yes. So they're encouraging all their listeners to tweet at her to get her attention. And so Josh is talking and saying, I know our listeners are accepting enough to not find a relationship involving more than two people strange. Monogamy is a social construct. It's not wrong, but it's also no more right than multiple people choosing to be together.
Yes.
All three of us were openly dating Layla, so I don't see how on earth it could be construed as cheating. Exactly. That is what I'm saying. I'm so confused about why all of the people thought that it was cheating when they were openly in a poly relationship.
Well, and maybe that's the point, is that people are like, oh, they're cheating, and it's like, y'all, this is just poly. Like,
yeah,
this was consensual on every side. Everyone had communicated. They were all there together.
Yes,
they woke up together in the same bed.
Yep.
Like,
they were all part of it.
Yes,
all involved.
Well, misconceptions, debunkings,
and yes, like monogamy is no more right or wrong than any other type of relationship. Yeah. It's just different. It's all different.
It is also an acceptable way to be.
Yes.
Communication and treating people ethically is consistent and never goes out of style. But sexual inclinations and styles and whatnot, y'all do what you will.
Do what you will. All right, page 510. She's on her revenge tour, so they're all back together now. And she's going to
just like that.
Yeah, it's magic. They have a conversation. It was boring. I didn't want to talk about it. Right, holes. So she is going to her high school reunion with all three of her boyfriends, and it's amazing.
That is a flex if there ever was one.
Hell yeah! And she's showing up. I'm wearing a lacy bodysuit from my upcoming collection. It's supposed to be delicate, pretty piece, but right now the silvery fabric feels like armor as it gleams against my skin.
Aww.
This is giving easy A, and I love
it. The bustier.
Yes.
It is.
Showing up in your lingerie. Hell yeah.
Adorable. We just watched Easy A a couple weeks ago. It was adorable.
So good. Penn Badgley.
I know.
Baby Penn Badgley.
A baby.
Lobster Todd.
Have you watched You?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
That seems scary.
It's a little scary. Oh. It's also hot.
Ooh.
He's a murderer, but it's sexy.
Oh. Interesting.
Murder, but make it sexy.
Murder, but make it sexy.
Page 521. You're really here with all three of them?
Mm-hmm.
I nod. Turns out you can have more than one boyfriend. I'm starting a collection. I love her.
Aww.
Fucking insolent woman. I'm starting a collection.
I'm starting a collection.
Turns out you can have more than one boyfriend.
Huh.
As the turntables.
As the turntables, you can have more than one. Yeah, she has her haters. Her haters have lots of things to say. And she has lots of quippy things to say back to them.
Yeah. Page 528. Here's Zach being funny. You're so scary, Zach says into my ear. Where's the bathroom? I need to jump out the window to get away from you.
Ooh.
Most of my dates feel a similar urge. Breathe deep. It'll pass. This is a callback, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
and babies.
Yes. Adorable.
Adorable. They're flirting. It's cute.
Precious.
All right. This is my last note. Page 535, y'all. This is a long book.
Yeah.
I highlighted, this is on their podcast, Layla's talking. Everyone you love will hurt you in some way. Most of them, I hope, will do it by accident. Some of them will do it on purpose. Don't let them win by letting it harden you. Mm-hmm. Stay trusting and hopeful. Fall in love again and again and again. It'll be okay. I promise. And ladies, pee after sex.
Yes. Pee after sex, truly.
This is some Taylor Swift shit. And yes, please do pee after sex. That's super important.
Is that a direct quote?
From Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Pee after sex?
No, not the pee after. I mean, I'm sure she said it. I think the rest of it, it's not a direct quote.
No, but it's like, that's Taylor Swift energy.
That's Taylor Swift energy for sure.
Like, fall in love again and again, it'll be okay.
I was thinking of her university, her speech.
Yes.
Her commencement address.
Dr. Taylor Allison Swift.
Dr. Taylor Allison Swift, that's what I'm saying. It's something to that effect of like, you will like be hurt and you will do the hurting, but take responsibility.
You will misspeak. You will hear all the things. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to fuck up. Life is full of just shit. And it, like, don't let that steal your courage for living. Like, life is also full of really beautiful things and really fun things. And when you find the right people to live it with and you find the courage within yourself to face your own mistakes and grow, life can be pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, folks.
This book has a happily ever afters. They, all four of them.
Yes.
Actually, I think they all marry her. Because they're not, the boys are not. So in their 4-way, 3-way situations, the boys don't really interact with each other other than like telling each other, hey, do this, hey, do that.
Yeah.
But they don't touch each other. So there's no like male MLM anything in this book.
Yeah, there's really not. That's not the vibe.
Yeah, that's not in this book. So if you're looking for that, that's not in here. Sorry. It is very much like they're all individually in a relationship with her, and they all are together in their experiences.
But they're best friends. Like, they all lived together beforehand. But yeah, they're all together in their sexual experiences.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a cool vibe. It clearly works for everyone.
Yeah.
They're having a good time.
It's very fun to read about.
Yeah. This was a highly entertaining, delightful book. Yeah. Shall we do our rating?
Let's do our breakdown. We have to break down 3 different men.
Oh my god.
A white man. No! In my defense, Josh is not white. At least in my brain.
What?
In my head, he's Asian. His last name's Tran.
Tran, you're right.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
And AAPI King.
That changes everything. It's giving, not Allie Hazelwood. What's the... Helen Huang.
Yes.
Is she the one who writes the
Love Hypothesis? I think so.
No, that's Allie Hazelwood. Love Quotient.
The Love Quotient. I get those mixed up.
Well,
the Love Quotient. Love Hypothesis, Love Quotient. Same brand.
Truly. But yes, it's giving. It's giving an AAPI.
All right. So our boys, we have Luke, Zach, and Josh. We'll start with Luke since neither of us have a preference toward him, really.
Zaddy.
Yeah. Daddy energy, for real. He's a silver fox. He's older.
I really respect that. I mean, I do appreciate, too, that the guys are like, come on, she's an adult now. She's your friend. Mm-hmm. But I love that he's like, no, she was my student. Because working with minors, like, that is exactly what your gut needs to say.
Yeah.
Like, this is completely off limits. Like, that's ethical. We appreciate it. Streets and Sheets.
So Luke in the streets, I think he can be a little self-righteous, which kind of is not my thing.
A little judgy.
Yeah.
He's definitely older.
However, Luke in the bedroom, I like.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah. So I would say, 5 in the sheets.
Yeah.
We're liberal with our 5s, so sue us.
In the sheets, y'all, they're not. I mean, I think we might have given Keller a lower rating in the sheets just because he was giving some weird energy, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, the black briefs can only do so much.
Yeah,
I think. But yes, in the streets, Luke is not. Hot for teacher is not my thing. Mm-mm. So I would say 3.5.
Me too.
But in the sheets,
a 5.
5. I'm into it. Yeah. Okay. Shall we review Zachary? Do you like my little British Zachary? My little
Kayla.
You go up in inflection when you're being a Brit. That's all I know how to do successfully with the British accent. In the sheets. Let's do in the sheets first for Zach.
I think he's good. He's a 5. I mean, he's hot.
Yes,
obviously, and he's very
around.
communicative. For sure.
Yeah, he's confident.
He is the one who says "good girl" the most. I don't think Josh says it, unfortunately, or he might.
That's a point against Josh. Interesting.
Kind of is
interesting. For those who've kept track of the points we've arbitrarily given, please report back.
Please
because
let us
Zach's
know.
The obvious
we didn't write them down.
Yes. So Zach is a 5 out of 5 for me. You know what though? No, I'm going to be honest. As I have to have integrity here. This
podcast really is just about integrity.
Yeah, laced with integrity, character, quality. I'm going to give him a 4 in the streets.
Oh no. She hates Lego men.
I love Lego men. It pains me. It pains me to give him a 4 in the streets. I do love Lego men. I love Lego men who've been to therapy. Mm-hmm. And Lego men can quickly explode. They can really do a number on you if they don't feel those feels. And so three names, they get a little jumbled in there. Zach, you should have probably worked through that, not on Layla.
Yeah.
Imploding your entire relationship. That was not cool.
Yeah.
I don't like that. So I'm going to give you a 4 and a slap on the wrist. Go to therapy.
Bad.
Don't do that.
Bad dog. Yeah, in the sheets, I think he's a 5. I enjoyed his scenes a lot.
Quite well.
And he's in all of them, in case you were wondering.
He's enthusiastic.
Yes, he is. I'm giving him a 3 in the streets because I'm not attracted to him. And
you're not skewed. Your judgment is not impaired in any way.
Well, he's just not my type, and he has some stuff, and the fucking her and then dumping her is so bad. That's so bad.
So okay,
pants not even fully zipped up. I can't do this anymore.
That was not okay.
Yeah,
you're putting me in a tough spot on that because I can't. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that's fair rating. I sign off on your rating that you're allowed to have.
I sign off on your opinion that you're allowed to have.
Your autonomous human opinion. Okay.
Joshy. In the sheets, it's a 5, obviously.
There are no flaws in the sheets.
Yeah.
For these 3.
In the streets.
What would you say?
I want so badly to give him a 5. However, I think it was kind of a pussy move not to just tell her that he loved her. He could have just done that. And he's so hot. What she would have been like, great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mommy problems.
Yeah, he's got issues, and that's fine.
Sorry, I don't believe in saying daddy problems and mommy problems, but
yeah. But I'm gonna give him a 4 in the streets just because he should woman up. Tell her that you love her. It's not that hard.
It's really not that hard. It's important to talk about how you feel. Okay. Yeah, I would say I'm just not into him in the streets. Because he's sad. I'm going to give him 3. Just fine. Because you gave Zach a 3.
Vindictive
They're
bitch.
Not. Fucking insolent woman. I realize that they're not an equal comparison. fucking and then dumping versus not telling her you love her. These are not the same offenses. I recognize that.
She did equate it as like, hey, you broke my trust.
Yeah.
Which is like, ooh, it's dramatic if you ask me.
Our judgment's skewed. But yes, okay. I would say a 5 in the sheets as well because they're 5s.
Yeah.
What do you think about Lily?
Layla.
God.
Lily Gold.
That's her
the
fault.
author. Amazing.
It's like one time I had a baby doll and I named her the same name as mine. And that got confusing.
That's amazing.
That's what Lily did here.
Yeah.
Okay, Layla. What do you think about Layla?
I love her.
I know. She's a great...
She's a businesswoman. She's funny.
She takes ownership over her own shit. Mm-hmm. Seriously.
Yeah.
She's been through a lot, and she does not make that anyone else's problem.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah. Lily. God damn it. A.
You're welcome.
Layla. She's a 5 for me. I like her. I think she's great.
She's strong. She's so funny. Mm-hmm. She's a good one. I don't have any problems with her. I do love her story arc too. I love how she learns to have sex.
Yes. Something about being raised in purity culture, I think that makes us want to have someone teach us.
We like the educational ones.
Teach me how to do it.
Teach me. I couldn't possibly understand.
I need you to be very specific.
And then in like Act 1, they're like, here, actually, you need to learn about your own body.
Yeah.
Interesting how that works. Healthy. Yes, she's a really good one. How would we, in terms of chili peppers, in terms of spice?
This is a 5, y'all.
This is a 5.
5+, I would say.
Yeah, this is a 5+. Every book that we've been like, 5 chili peppers, but what about faking with benefits?
I know. Y'all, like, we're not lying when we say the sex scenes are often, they are long, and they are extremely descriptive.
Yeah, nothing is in the imagination here.
Yes, and it's not a slow burn. The first kiss is like 100 pages in.
Oh, yeah.
And she kisses both Zach and Josh. And then when Luke joins in, it gets even, like, dirtier, and, yeah.
There's a lot going on. It's fascinating. And titillating.
It worked for me.
It did the trick, as you told Chris the nail tech.
I hope I get to see him today.
I think our nail place is closed.
Damn.
I know.
Yeah. So this is a spicy 5 out of 5.
Very good.
Come in here for the right holes.
Truly, it was a very excellent read. Okay. Plot. Was there one? Did we care?
There's a plot. Do I care about it?
There was a podcast.
Yes.
I cared about the podcast.
I cared about that podcast a lot.
I was invested in that podcast.
I do like the podcast. I like the characters. The plot, not really interesting to me at all.
The third act breakup. Oh my God.
Frustrating.
That was a detailed.
It was long. And
that was like third act raised by the third power.
Yes. And like as I'm going through the notes, like the wedding, it's just like the start of they have their super sexy times in their suite, and then the next day is the wedding. That's like 52% into the book, and like the rest of it is like
true.
Third act breakup, and then they get back together, and then like there's not that much spicy stuff after that. I mean, it's all chunked up in the very beginning, which is fine and great.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like wrong holes at the end of the book.
Yeah, it is a way to write a story. We were talking about this at some point, but like, how do you write this? How do you write it's 3 romances within one, but it's one woman? And like, this would be hard to use the tropes it's just complex.
It's complex.
In terms of writing this would be very complex to like do the things that you got to do as a romance author to the third power. It's complicated. Wow. And we time travel. There's like history involved. Wow.
Yeah. There's like a train of oral sex that's happening.
Yeah, there really is.
And by train, I mean they are just taking turns.
Yep.
On her.
Yeah. Like, line up, enjoy yourselves. Yeah. So maybe this is perhaps one of the most confusing plots I've ever read in romance.
It's confusing. Sometimes the sex scenes are confusing, and not in a way that makes it not hot. It's just like sometimes my brain was like, like I feel like my brain was just like trying to make up things that were like logically making sense.
Yeah, and maybe that's because we haven't done this. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it's intuitive to others. It was not intuitive to us.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, so he's here, Josh is there, but Luke is over there.
How big is this bed? Yeah.
Yeah.
That got distracted. My logical parts were like, wow, but like what? Sometimes it was fun.
Yeah.
It was still hot though. I won't. It did not get in the way of it being hot. It was just like, okay, sure, that is how that worked.
So there is a story. However, it doesn't matter that much.
No, other than the characters, we liked their development. But
yeah, I would say you could probably read the first 58% of this book.
Yep.
And then skip to the end.
Yep.
Because the breakup's not that interesting.
It's dramatic.
Unless you just want to get really angry at Zach and Luke. And then Josh is like, they break up, but it's really just because Lily is like, hey,
Josh has no flaws?
No, I'm saying that Lily has the flaw, and that she has the flaw, but like Lily, I think she's blowing things out of proportion and being like, these two hurt me and you lied to me.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot.
Yeah,
things kind of spiral. I'm not knocking Lily Gold. I don't know how the hell you'd write this kind of thing. I think you've done as good as you can.
Yeah.
Beautiful. But wow,
I like the book.
There's a lot going on.
When I was reading it, I was like giggling and texting A and being like, hey, look, there's a man for each of us.
It really was.
Yeah,
and one to spare.
And then do we have a last one? Is that it?
Would we let him date our friends?
Well, there's 3 of them.
Would we? But would they all date
one friend?
This gets quickly very complicated. I don't know.
My brain is like breaking.
Depends on the friend.
It depends on the friend. I think that they are all good partners if they work through their shit, which is the theme of all men ever.
Interesting. Men are not actually horrible monsters if they work through their stuff.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting
How that works. Y'all may proceed if you work through your shit.
That's right.
Therapy.
Yep. And actually, I do enjoy that this book does not have a single hint of toxic masculinity in it.
Yeah, there's no
they are
showboating.
All comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
There's not even comments on like they don't even comment on each other's dicks. So, they're all just like here for a good time.
Yeah, I do love that.
And they're like encouraging, like, oh, you made her feel so good. Good job. Like, you know.
That's exactly what they say.
It's word for word.
Yeah. No, it's really, that's true. The competition and like weirdness is not there. It's sweet to see them be supportive of each other.
Yeah.
I think that's our last rating. But wow. Faking with Benefits. We've talked about it. We've name dropped Faking with Benefits a few times, and so we finally reviewed it, y'all.
Yes, finally something that's not Megan Quinn or Tessa Bailey. So
you're welcome.
I know you guys were getting tired.
We're broadening our horizons.
Yeah. It's just hard because we've both read a lot of Tessa Bailey and Megan Quinn, so it's easy to pick a book.
Exactly. Yeah. We have already selected. We are continuing to branch out on books, so we can branch out our authors. Next week, we have already selected what we were reviewing, and it is Book Lovers by Emily Henry.
So if y'all haven't read Book Lovers, or you have, that's going to be due.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be due. Did you just say it's going to be due? Oh my God.
Can't know it.
You have been working in schools for a minute.
Brain hurts.
That's
we
funny.
are going to do Book Lovers. So a very different read from this one. Way more plot, way less sex, but still an incredible book that I super enjoyed. And
y'all can trust us that we will still highlight the sex. It will still have sexy content, our discussion of it. But it will not be boring is what I'm saying.
Oh no. If anything, we'll highlight more of the sex because there's not as much of it.
Yeah, we will do deep dives.
In the books like this and like Too Hot to Handle, there's so much sex that it's just like you can't highlight it all. And sometimes it's like I can't there's stuff you just cannot read
I'm not reading
out
that
loud. So if in books where it's a slow burn and you've been waiting for it for a long time,
Yes.
I'm more likely to be like, yes.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Like, there is something to be said for a slow burn.
I do love a good slow burn.
Book Lovers is that.
Emily Henry.
Y'all, that is not Emily Henry's newest Happy Place release. We will be reading that at the beach in a few weeks. But
Yes.
this is Book Lovers. We read this at the beach last year. So
Yes.
we will recap it and review it for y'all, you Emily Henry lovers.
That's right. Okay, well, a solid 2.5 hours of
That's respectable.
incredible content. And by 2.5, I mean 2 hours and 42 minutes. But I say
we will edit down.
Yeah.
We will edit down.
to at least 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Truly. At the very least.
All right, y'all.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for following along on TikTok.
Yes.
Share this with your friends, please, if this is something you enjoy.
Please do.
I know y'all are talking about your smut.
Yeah, rate us 5 stars if you want to. For some reason, it matters.
Yeah,
I can't tell you why.
This isn't to stroke our ego. We want other folks to enjoy
Yeah.
the art of smut.
On TikTok, we are at OKKPod.
Yes.
You can always email us at ourkinkykindlespod@gmail.com with questions, suggestions, ideas, or criticism that we will delete and put in the garbage, but you're welcome to do that.
We will read it and we will do with it what we want. But
Or we'll make fun of you.
also we will hide all identities because confidentiality is our speciality.
That's right.
Yes. Oh, we love y'all. Thanks
Love
for
y'all.
listening.
Until next time, start collecting those boyfriends like Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all. Bye.
Bye.